Good. We're going to need them. Okay. You stream on YouTube.
My next check is for the mortgage, though.
What up? What up?
Welcome. We are live, too, by the way.
What up?
Oh, hi.
I just hit it because Lou was ending his, and I wanted to make sure that everybody had someplace to come to. So
See how it was an ambush. This, I swear, is a conspiracy.
It is conspiracy, yeah.
Yeah, it's a theory.
So now I'm going to let the chat build up. We're just waiting on Lou. He's got to use the bathroom, open some windows up, and he said it's like 120 degrees in there right now. Let's see all here. Diary of Her Mind, Country Girl Rock Fam. Chat build up. We're just waiting on Lou. Yoko Rock Fam, Country Girl, Semi Fight. The baddest artist on the block. Welcome.
Sweet.
Steven Dennis. Haunted Balls is in here. Give me a second, Ghost.
Hey,
I'm on my way. Yeah, we're just letting the chat build up, Lou.
What up, Haunted Balls?
Foxy Escapes is in here. Donna Ralph.
That's
Bunch of people. Guys, it is good to be back, and we are coming to you from an undisclosed location along the Ohio River in an abandoned fallout shelter. Yeah, that's actually it's in basement like studio here at the new house. Yes, we got the house, we got moved in. Things are getting unboxed. There's only one room left that has any boxes left in it to unpack, and that's the living room. And that should be yeah. We don't have a couch, so we don't use the living room too much. So right now the living room is like a storeroom for just I don't even think there's that many. There's only 10 or 12 boxes up there now that we got to go through. So this weekend, everything will be completely unpacked and put away where it should be. And now we're starting to paint rooms and things like that, make things the way we want them. So, yes, it feels great to be back on YouTube again. It's been a long, probably, week and a half, almost 2-week hiatus.
Yep.
So, yes. Glad to be back. And it's so refreshing in this new home. You know what I mean?
It's haunted, though.
It is haunted, though. Yes, it is haunted. So all you paranormal people out there, yeah, definitely. We've had some instances since we've moved in. We've phantom smells of women's perfume, glimpses of people at the top of the stairs that you turn around and look and they're not there. Yeah, the OG's toys being set off in the middle of the night, like something hitting the buttons and making music play. So we definitely have some activity over here. We're gonna try doing some investigation type stuff in the house here later on. Maybe maybe on one of the EVPs or something like that. See what's going on. From what I feel, I don't think it's anything what we had at the old house with the shadows darting across and all that stuff. But I think it's the original owners of the house. They actually passed away in this house. So road trip. Let's go, people. Head to Ghost Mafia and Ladies.
I want to play in Ghost's house. I want to get to know what's in your house. Do you think they'll come home with me?
I don't know. They might.
It's me. Of course it will.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking about that, getting like a futon or something. This office is big enough that I can have a guest couch over here underneath the lit up Ghost Mafia sign.
Can you do me a favor? Can you get one that's big enough for Brian and I? And I'm pretty fat, so you need a large one.
Like, I got this whole wall over here. It's all open space, and there's enough room for like a guest couch over there.
Sweet.
That would like fold out into a bed or something like that. That would be cool. Yep.
So when do I get to move in?
Hell, the laundry room is big enough that I can have like washers and dryers in there.
You're not answering me. When do I get to move in?
That's up to Lady Swan.
Hey.
Bags, woman.
She said, pack your bags.
Sweet.
Peace out, Brian. I'm leaving.
Oh man, it was fun. I just came off of Cab's panel.
I know, I was in
We
there
were
watching
watching.
you sing.
We seen you singing your heart out.
So, did you want to hear the good news?
What's the good news?
Anna Key finally got the flag for her father's grave.
Oh yeah, I knew that. I heard it. I heard that earlier today on Cabs.
Yeah. So,
Yep, that's
I'm
good.
very happy for her.
She's been wanting that for a long time.
Well, he deserves it.
Oh, absolutely. Hats off to all the veterans that served for this country.
Hold on. Diary says, whatever. I heard you guys sing, JoJo. You won't leave, Brian. Too much love there. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised what I do for a Klondike bar.
I told Cab that I might be able to get up there, but I did have OG for a while. But I did send him pictures. Me and OG was sitting here playing, and I sent him pictures. I said, she's such a cutie.
Oh, man. It's been one hell of a... It's been busy since Friday for us. There was people over in Cabs asking. They're like, I haven't been getting notifications. Where have you been? Or tokens, right? Tokens. I will do anything for tokens. But they're like, I missed your live streams. I'm like, we haven't been live in like a week, maybe 2. And they're like, why? I'm like, because we had stuff to do.
You guys had stuff going on. Your
Yep.
co-host had stuff going on. You just it's been a crazy last 2 weeks, and it's going to be good to get back into the routine again.
It's been the last 2 weeks has been like time off for Nations 13.
It's really messed up my sleep schedule because I'm used to staying up until like 6 o'clock in the morning, and here lately I've been going to bed by like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh hell, you've actually been going to bed?
Yeah, that's the crazy part. And then and then when I go to bed early, I wake up early because I'll wake up at like 10 o'clock, and I'm like, man, it's too early. I got to go back to sleep.
Thank God you're not calling me when you're dead now.
We could go in there.
I know I'm transitioning back into a human instead of a vampire.
I know. I remember you used to get up early, and then like 9, 10 in the morning, I'd be getting Hangouts calls from you. I'm like, dude, I haven't even had coffee yet. Like, why are you calling me? You're like, well, I'm awake. What are you doing? I'm like, I'm not functional yet.
41 people in here, guys. Share this out. As soon as Lou Rock gets in here, we're going to get things started. I know we're running a little late tonight by a half hour, but that's all right.
I want to show you something, okay?
Okay.
This is the best tape you will ever get.
Best tape, huh?
It's tape, okay? It's two-sided.
Pretty thick. I mean,
I know, but look, it's two-sided, okay?
oh, it's the double-sided sticky tape.
But you can wash this and reuse it. It can hold, like you can literally pick up a cinder block with a strip of this.
Nice.
But you can wash it and reuse it. It's the best thing ever. David, the producer.
Yes, here's what I use.
That's what I use for wrapping gifts or shutting
Scotch
Brian up.
tape.
Well, technically, I use duct tape for shutting Brian up, but you know, he likes it rough. So what's the story for tonight?
I don't know. Lou says he's got some new ones. I haven't really had a whole lot of chance to do any research on any new ones with the move and everything. I've been, through the daytime, I'll work on little things around the house. Today I had some more stuff to haul in. Got the porch all cleaned off now. I still have air conditioners to bring in. I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards just putting them away and storing them for the winter and sticking it out for the next couple of weeks instead of putting the air conditioners in. But
Nice.
Colleen's saying, let's put some links up, guys. Put up the PayPal and others in. What?
Yeah, mods, if you can grab Ghost PayPal and his Teesprings and like his Twitter, stuff like that, post them up. Oh, never mind. There's Mod God.
Yep.
Look at that.
The sharpshooter. He was
All
on
you
it.
gotta do is ask, and he appears.
He's right on top of it.
Right?
What is up with this view? Oh, it's because I'm on full screen. Okay.
I'm so excited tomorrow. We get our green screen.
Oh, it's coming in that early?
Yeah, man.
That's hot. See, I had to wait till the 13th to get the stuff that I ordered. I ordered. I started moving and hauling all the boxes and stuff, and my tendonitis in my wrist started acting up. So I ordered one of those carpal tunnel braces that laces up, so I can lace it up real tight.
Did you fix the address?
Yes. So it should be here on the 13th. But yeah, we literally got the U-Haul, went to the house, loaded a 27-foot long U-Haul one time, brought it here to the house, unloaded it, left again, went back to the old house, loaded up a second time. It was like, by the time we got back here, after loading it all up, it was probably 1 o'clock in the morning. We decided that we was all tired. We set up the bed, went in the house, set up the beds and everything, went to bed, got up the next morning, unloaded the U-Haul, and took the U-Haul back. And I still think that U-Haul double dipped me.
That wouldn't surprise me. They've done that up here to us.
Well, they ran my card for like $140 some to make sure
Damn.
that $143, I think it was, to make sure that it was going to cover. Then when we took back the U-Haul, they charged us for the mileage and stuff, and it was like $94. So the 143 should have went back on my card. Well, the transaction dropped off, but the money never went back on my card. So I think they double dipped us.
I'd be calling them.
I've called them. I went down there, and they're like, no, that money was never actually taken out of your account, blah, blah, blah. I says, then why does it show it as a negative on my account? I don't know. Don't understand it. Diary of Mine says, that happened to us, Mafia and Lady Swan. Yep. U-Haul. H-Top Skills is in the house. What's going on, H-Top?
How's it going?
Kenny Martha says, I would kick their ass. Oh, trust me, I wanted to. I went down to the place that where we got the U-Haul, but it's not, it's like Naylor's Garage, and you just it's a pickup point there. So there's no actual like real U-Haul head office. Everything's done online, and they tell you so they're all franchisees, and the transactions go through the main office online. So there's no real office I can go into and jerk a knot in somebody's ass. I think that's a conspiracy in itself. But trust me, I was in Naylor's Garage, and I was going, where's my money? I want my money. Where's my money?
I went through that here, and I had to fight with them for like 2 weeks.
Yeah. So, I mean, I can take that money and put it back into the house. You know what I mean? Had to get a couple gallons of paint or something, some laminate flooring, things like that. So, Dave, the producer.
What color did they paint Libby's room?
It's kind of a pastel purple. They got it all masked off and stuff. But you know what? They went in there and they masked it all off and everything with the tape around the window frames and everything, and the tape didn't hold, so it's all like peeling off and stuff. I said, you know what? I was a house painter from the age of 6 to 19. I said, I don't need to tape anything off. Just tell me where the paint is. When I get bored through the day, I'll go up there and I'll have that room painted in a couple hours. So, I said, there's no sense in you guys just wasting your time. I figured I'd end up doing it anyways. So, no big deal. Welcome, Lou Rock, Mr. Haunted Balls himself. What's going on, Lou?
What up, Lou?
I can't hear nothing.
You got audio?
Hold on, guys.
Are you broadcasting from an undisclosed location in your mom's closet or what?
At my mom's closet, yeah.
That's why the walls were pink, right?
Well, that's my excuse.
There's nothing wrong with being in the closet, Lou. Although it's a safe place to come out now.
I'll tell you what, I would never be in the closet.
Never?
Never.
Never ever?
I'm too open to be in the closet.
You know what? I can believe that, actually. There's too many things that I know about him from behind closed doors that I shouldn't know.
I have too big of a mouth to be in the closet.
Is that what you're sticking with?
That's what I'm sticking with.
Yeah, that and $20 is $20.
$20 is $20. This is a fact. Somebody told me that the sharpshooter was blocked in my freaking live stream, and here's the deal. Me and the sharpshooter have talked, and I'm trying to fix all my moderators. And sharpshooter, if you're blocked, I'll make sure it's fixed. I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna have a lot of time in the next couple days to go through my computer. So
Awesome. So, Lou, you got some new stuff for us this week. First week back in like 3 weeks, too.
yeah, you know what I want to talk about?
I'm going to guess Epstein.
All right, we could start off with Epstein. Actually, I have another topic to talk about.
That was the other one that I was thinking of, was the whole Epstein thing, and the fact that they pardoned the guy, or they acquitted him, or whatever.
Okay, a couple days after he died, they had this whole court proceeding to drop all the charges against Epstein. That makes exactly no sense.
Yeah, the guy is dead. I mean, but I don't know.
Well, here's the deal. If you believe what I believe, and what I believe is, for one, he was put on a suicide watch and then taken off of the suicide watch after being found in a fetal position with marks on his neck. That makes no sense. The only reason they would take him off of a suicide watch is because they knew that they were going to be sneaking him out the front door in a couple days. And what I believe is he's in witness protection, and one of the most popular ways to put somebody in witness protection is to fake their death. And another thing is, what they had to do is they had to drop the charges against Epstein, because being in that witness protection program, he's going to be in some town in America, probably after he has some plastic surgery and he looks a little bit different.
I don't think they'll put him in a town in America. They're if they do, they're going to send him to like Alaska or someplace like that, out to the desert.
Dude, let me tell you something. You change that guy's face up just a little bit. All right. You send him down to Florida. You put him up in a house in Florida, anywhere in a retirement community. He's going to fit in. Nobody's going to know who he is.
You're talking about somebody that had tons of money, loved the nightlife, loved the social life. He's going to fall right back into the same routine if that's a temptation that's nearby.
If he's anything like Sammy the Bull Gravano got caught selling ecstasy while he was in the witness protection.
Right? That's what I'm saying. They fall right back into their same routines that they did when they weren't in the witness protection. So for him to be down there in Florida, where there's nightlife, where there's nightclubs and things like that, yeah, he's going to be out there. He's going to be throwing money around. He's going to get noticed.
They need to send him somewhere where he can be miserable.
Exactly. They're going to send him someplace like
Canada.
Freaking Alaska.
Canada's perfect.
They're going to send him to like Anchorage, Alaska, or someplace like that,
Don't get me wrong, I love being Canadian, but we take literally anybody, okay?
See, I think the best place to hide is right out in the open. You send them to a place like Alaska, it's a small, close-knit community. They're going to notice the new guy in the neighborhood.
Well, that too, but, I mean...
Any which way, he's going to be somewhere in the United States with his face changed just a little bit, plastic surgery, maybe some hair dye.
Hey, Zach.
But I would say to look forward to some arrests to start happening. Because for him to go into that program, he had to make a deal. And I know I don't know, but I'm pretty sure he's got a lot of videotapes and a lot of people in high positions, definitely by the balls, I would say.
You know what? I think we need another opinion on this one. I'm gonna send out a link to somebody. See what they think about the whole Epstein thing.
Yeah, this wasn't even really the main topic. This is something that personally for me, I've been thinking about so much. When you see somebody die in the news, they never show the body. They never. It's actually, it's against protocol. They don't show the body because the family can sue. It's offensive to people. They showed this guy. They showed his body because they wanted to prove that he was dead. So it's way too much of everything just is too. It was actually done very sloppy.
Well, and that's not the first time I've seen something like that happen. Okay, you remember when Obama first took office, in his first like 3-4 months in office, they found Osama bin Laden.
Yep.
They killed him, and they buried him at scene. There was no pictures. There was no pictures of the body. There was no, footage of the capture. All we had was Obama's word that we got him. We got him. He's dead, and we buried him at sea.
So you're going to tell me the most wanted man on the planet, the ace of spades, the most wanted person that killed, well, how many people died in 9/11? 5,000 plus?
Look, it's Osama bin Laden. He was the mastermind behind, supposedly the mastermind behind the 9/11 attacks. Okay. If I was president, what would I do for my people to assure that we got the bastard that did it?
I was going to say, wait a minute. When Saddam Hussein was executed and his sons were executed, they showed it.
It was in public.
Yeah.
Because we saw it. We saw it on the news up here.
Yeah, they hung him.
Yeah, we gave Saddam to his enemies because we knew exactly what they were going to do. Do you know that was actually against the law? That was against the Geneva Convention?
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah, no president or leader of a country should be put to death.
I mean, if it was me, if I was president at the time, I would have had, Osama bin Laden's head on a pike pole at the top of the Washington Monument for the whole world to see. That way, everybody know we got the bastard that did it.
See, I like my idea. I think we should have took him and put him in Yankee Stadium and made a line of people that get to kick him in the balls, and he would be put to death by being kicked in the balls.
Okay,
Actually,
well, now we're treading that thin red line on YouTube about the whole violence thing, with the conspiracy from that. So we don't want to promote violence.
We can't promote violence on a dead person,
right?
Well, that's it's we're treading a thin line. We don't want to get taken down on our first day back. So
Yeah, Lou, save that for the next day.
Yeah, save that for day number 2. But but no, I've often thought that did we really get bin Laden? There was, like I said, there was no pictures. It was not a public thing. We just had their word to go on that we got him, we killed him, and we buried him at sea. Did they? Can we trust our government to be telling us the truth about that?
Well, I mean, he was so hated that it is very possible that you can trust him on that.
Well, I don't. I want evidence.
Like you said, Saddam Hussein, when they found him in that little, he was looking up out of a square hole in the ground that was about 12 inches by 12 inches, and he was living in this space underground, this little tunnel area underground. And here's a picture of him looking up going, oh, fuck. I mean, it was him. You could tell from the picture. There was there was positive identification there. Nothing with bin Laden. Nothing.
And I agree, it is fishy. But I mean, as far as trusting a government, you can't really trust any government. It doesn't matter where you live. They're in it for themselves, not for the actual country.
I mean, I think the conspiracy with the whole Bin Laden thing was, Bush had gotten Hussein. Obama needed to one up him when he took his presidency, when he took office.
Yeah.
And, what better way to one up him to say, then we got the bastard, but there's no photos and we buried him at sea, shot him in the head and buried him at sea. But we got him. Trust me on that.
Well, here's the deal. If we took him out and say we hit him with one of those bunker busters while he was in one of those caves, and then we had DNA evidence that proves that it was him that died, it could just be a change up in story. You know what I mean? Like, we got him, but we didn't get him. We can't really prove that we got him, so we're going to come up with this story. Another thing is, it could be just like Epstein, Osama bin Laden. I bet you he has a lot of information on all those terrorist cells all around the world.
Well, here's a theory that I had with it. Okay. So Obama needs to bring his numbers up. His the people that adore him, he needs to get his numbers up, his acceptance as president. So, yeah. And so he says, we got the bastard. Even though he might not have gotten him right then, but I guarantee you, after the fact, if he wasn't dead already, they just went after him full force until I did get him, and it was kept quiet and swept under the rug and made it to look like we got him 6 months ago, but really they didn't. And then they just black opped his ass out of existence after that. They didn't stop until they did get him, and it was all secretive and everything. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, if they did it that way, then chances are they did it that way so they could enjoy beating him to death. For what he did, you really think they're going to take their time and just be like, or not take their time?
Oh, I guarantee you. I mean, if they didn't get him the first time, when they got him the second time, I guarantee you there was waterboarding going on. There was torture. Probably got his fingernails ripped out.
Hold on. Now who's promoting violence?
Yeah, I just wanted to kick him in his balls. Now you're pulling out his fingernails.
Right?
I'm talking about theories. I'm talking about theories.
And
I'm not saying that they
I was
should
talking
go out.
about a dead guy.
Yeah, well,
Diane G said the soldier who killed him wrote a book. But again, how much of that can you actually believe? I'm not saying anything against the soldier. It's very well that he did. I'm just saying people write books about having haunted houses, and their houses aren't really haunted.
If I was that soldier, I would have been taking so many selfies.
right.
Oh, yeah.
Lou would be taking so many snapshots.
Oh yeah, I'd get in trouble for the stuff I would.
And didn't the guy that killed Christopher Kyle, didn't he try to write a book too? Chris Kyle, the American sniper, the best sniper in the United States and all that.
Wasn't he killed by another veteran who was?
He was killed by another veteran that wanted to be famous for killing Christopher Kyle, basically.
That's horrible.
Wow.
American hero. So
and this was a kid that Christopher Kyle was trying to help.
Yeah, he was
Just
trying
a
to
punk
help.
kid, and he seen his opportunity to be famous for doing something malicious, and he did it. I mean, Christopher Kyle was going to take him shooting, and he goes out shooting and ends up getting shot by the guy.
All right, so I have the subject that's probably going to be all over YouTube, probably going to be trending. Probably everybody's going to start talking about this, and they already are, but I think it's going to start going really, really in this direction. What about the 5G that's coming out a couple weeks or whatever?
Okay, so the 5G, this is what I've learned. I've been doing some research on this 5G, actually, with the phone system.
Yep.
Okay, now, 4G LTE has a range. They can actually run it off a cell phone tower. 5G has no range. So only certain cities right now have 5G capability in their cities. Okay. And the way that they do this, they're actually utilizing telephone poles and putting the receivers on tops of telephone poles every 3 blocks and creating a net over the city, because they can't do it just from the cell phone tower because 5G doesn't carry range. It's unbelievably fast speeds, but there's no range to it. So they literally have to make a net using the grid patterns in towns. Now it's going to be years before 5G gets out into the countryside because they can't just, there's no grid work. But in cities, they're actually mounting the receivers for it on top of telephone poles.
That just seems like the stupidest thing for a cell phone.
Well, what I'm getting at about 5G is there's been some scientific studies, and these scientific studies have been done actually over the last few years, even with 4G and the current cell phone usage that we have. And what these studies are showing is that these signals, these radio signals, actually are just like a microwave in your kitchen. Uh-huh. And what they do is they pretty much suck the oxygen right out of molecules, and they degrade molecules, and it's almost like those directed energy weapons, the directed energy weapons, the less than lethal weapons we've talked about before. Mm-hmm. Well, 5G is going to be pretty much as powerful as those weapons. And the scale that we use right now, I believe it's like 1,000 parts. I don't know the actual measurement, but we measure it. It's like 100. It's 100 times higher than what will actually harm a human being. So the United States limit on how much exposure we should be exposed to, the limit that the United States set is in the thousands.
Right.
Now it only takes 50 or 60. I got to look it up.
But here's the thing with that, Lou. Again, it has a range to it. So it's a limited range. Like one receiver on one telephone pole will only cover a 3 square block radius circle.
Yeah, but I got
6 blocks in all.
I got to show you this study, man, because the study shows that everybody, unless you're out in the middle of the woods where there's no service, every single one of us are going to be exposed to this high level of
RF radiation. Yeah.
Yes, of radiation that's gonna, it literally can rob us of the oxygen that our body needs to live. Not only that, the levels are going to be so high that they can actually damage our DNA. And a lot of conspiracy theorists are saying that 5G is a fully weaponized form of service, that if at any time they wanted to attack a certain area or a certain person, all they would have to do is do it right through the cell phone service.
Okay, so Fatima says, population control. I don't use cell phone ever, which that could be it too. It could be, and it kind of goes hand in hand, because some of the bigger cities are the first ones to get it. Large.
That's another thing. Even if you don't use a cell phone, I seen in the same study. I wish I could have bring this video and played this video for everybody. But in the same study, they go into an apartment building, and in the apartment building, the levels were 100,000 times what they are, safely. The government safety level is, I believe, either 10 or 100 times more than we should ever be exposed to. And then the apartment building was 100 times more than that. So you're talking about we're cooking people with this cell phone service, and we're dying to get it. I can't wait for it to come out so I could go out and buy the newest phone and live stream without lagging. And
now here's the other end of the coin. The new routers that are the new modem router combinations. I've got one sitting right next to me that does 5G technology. It does 5G wireless to your laptop or cell phone or whatnot. The drawback to that is if you go to your cable company and say, I want the 5G router and all that stuff hooked up, chances are every computer that you have in your house right now is obsolete to it because the modem in your laptop is not 5G compatible. It's only 2.4 gigahertz compatible, which means that you won't get the speeds, like I'm supposed to be getting 1,000 bits per second here download. Fortunately, we tested the laptop the other day. I've had the cable guy here on 3 occasions because we weren't getting the speeds that we should be out of the computers in this house. What we come to find out is the modems that are in the laptops and the computers are not new enough to utilize the technology in the modem and router.
all right, this is another thing that they said. That back when we had 2 and 3G, that 2 and 3G was it met the levels. It wasn't over the levels. It was an acceptable amount of exposure. Just even just the 4G that we use right now is dangerous to us. We're already being exposed. So 4G is not good for us. So 5G is just going to be even more damaging to our DNA, to our bodies, and the symptoms, loss of breath, heart attack like symptoms, dizziness, all these things that I see people dealing with on a daily basis, and they have no idea where it's coming from. Last year, I started having chest pains where I thought I was having a heart attack, and I go to the hospital. They do an EKG. They say I'm okay, and they say I'm having panic attacks. Now I've never had a panic attack in my life, and for them to tell me after 36 years that I just developed a panic issue is kind of crazy. I definitely think that more people need to look into this, question it themselves, as the show states.
Drone Wars just says, "Speak for yourself, Lou. There's no damage on my end. I'm the one that's been walking around since I was a kid with aluminum foil hat on."
Well, Drone, we all can't be like you, buddy.
And Green Bay was saying that 5G, it's mentioned in the Bible. It's the end of times. In fact, if you wanna elaborate on that, Green Bay, I just sent you a link.
Does it actually say 5G is the end of times in the Bible?
I don't know, but
I know he's saying the mark of the beast.
Yeah.
Which the mark, he's pretty damn right. It could be the mark of the beast, but I don't.
You know that they're already talking about 6G internet speeds and things like that, right?
Well, what I think they're going to have to do is once people start dropping like flies, and then there's some mandating that goes on, I think what they're going to have to do is they're going to start having to learn how to get these technologies out to us in a safe fashion. At this moment right now, they're not held up to any kind of standards to protect us.
Well, I do know, and as a paranormal researcher, we've all used EMF detectors and know about electromagnetic fields.
That was another thing. Why do you think we're having EMFs everywhere?
Yeah, well, not only that, you know what a fear cage effect is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you were to come into my office right now, I literally have 1, 2, 3 computers hooked up. Each one of them has dual monitors. I've got TVs all over I've got wiring everywhere in this room. This is a complete fear cage. But
It's not a fear cage. It's close to the word.
Well, that's the phenomenon. What they call it is a fear cage, because it can the effects of prolonged exposure to hypersensitivity to electromagnetic fields can give you dizziness, rashes,
Paranoia.
And all kinds of different systems, nausea, all kinds of stuff.
It can affect your mood.
When you start creating a network or a net of 5G networks on telephone poles right outside your house covering a whole city, you're turning that whole city into a fear cage effect. Essentially. So that makes sense to me. I mean, look at how much infrastructure we have with the power lines and the telephone lines and the cable, and now you're going to add 5G to that. Yeah, it's definitely something to think about. Prolonged exposure to electromagnetic fields and RF radiation cannot be good. There's got to be some tests that the government should be doing on prolonged exposure to and the effects to that. You know what I mean? Or are they going to sweep it under the rug and call it, we call it, and somebody said it in the chat earlier. I'm having trouble tonight stammering over my words. Population control. That's what I was thinking. So, I mean, now you're going to have 20 years down the road, you're going to have a upkick of cancer, brain cancers, tumors, things like that. And they're going to wonder, well, why is this happening? Well, 20 years ago, they came out with the 5G technology and blanketed the city with a network of 5G that was detrimental to people's health. And now, you still with us, Lou?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm here.
Okay.
I'm looking up the name for that damn cage.
Oh, Faraday cage?
Faraday cage, yes.
The Faraday cage. Well, now here's the difference between a Faraday cage. A Faraday cage would be if I covered all the walls in this room with chicken wire to kind of make a protective layer against EVPs, okay? Like an electromagnetic pulse will hit that chicken wire and ground out before it hits the electronics inside and save the electronics. So that's what the Faraday cage theory is. Fear cage is just that. It's basically you being surrounded by wiring, whether it's the electrical wiring in the house, computer wiring, cable, internet, telephone lines. I mean, the more electrified wire that you have around you, the worse it's going to be.
Well, here's another thing is, when I was a kid, I never heard of I see my brain. That's another thing I've noticed is a hard time concentrating lately, and that's one of the effects of this. But when I was a kid, I never heard of EVPs. If there was communication to the dead through spirit boxes and radio recorders, I definitely don't think it was on the level that it is today. And I've always thought, what was it? What is it that has made this portal open? And it's opening wide. It's opening so much that we can talk to them like a cell phone. I mean, it's getting to the point where a lot of people are getting into the paranormal and having amazing results.
Well,
now,
about 10 years ago, Lou, and there was a major change about 10 years ago. And you probably remember this. You remember the old televisions, the old tube type television, not like the tube type, but they had a television tube. There wasn't no flat screens. Mm-hmm. Okay, this was before flat screens. And they did the digital conversion.
Yes.
Okay, now When they was transmitting television and analog, they literally had a split frequency. They would have one frequency for the audio feed and one frequency for the video feed. When they go to digital, it actually picks up on a brighter band, and they can transmit both together over a farther distance when they went digital. So there was a big conversion from analog to digital. But with the effects of the digital, you got more range, you got better quality, but the downside is nobody knew what the effects were going to be on the general public. You have to think that there's going to be some side effects with any kind of major change like that, especially going from old analog to new digital. They can transmit farther on less power and get better results with the new digital than what they was doing before. But what they was doing before was putting it out like, it was just like your car stereo. They would be transmitting on a car stereo with an offset video feed.
Yeah, well, what I was getting at is, we're going further and further with these cell phone signals, 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, and we're using radio signals, amplified radio signals. And what is a spirit box? It's a radio. And so what I think that the reason that there's a jump in these spirit boxes actually working almost like cell phones to the other side, I think it's probably connected in a large way to the cell phone services.
See,
sure.
I think that you have so many people, because you were talking about the size of like how this portal's opened up so much. You think about it, it's become so popular because of TV shows and everything else. You've got how many millions of people doing the same crap. You're bound to open something that eventually is going to connect and grow. Whether you meant to connect it with anyone else or not, it's going to do it.
It's true. And welcome to the panel, Green Bay Wacky.
Well, I'm happy to come up here, but that other thing we were talking about is just a theory, Ghost, but I can give you my opinion on it.
Go for it, man.
No, when I heard Louis, like, it's in the Bible. I'm like, well, it doesn't say like Jesus.
That would be pretty cool though if it was.
Right.
Well, it might. I might study it a little more. No,
it may actually be. Have you ever studied the Bible code?
I haven't actually studied it, but I'm very much aware of it. But no, hey, I appreciate you inviting me up here. I just woke up a little while ago. Sorry, Cab.
Oh yeah, I'm supposed to give you a hard time, but I won't do it on this panel because this is a professional show.
I stayed up all day for the cable guy to come out. Like, and
I said that to him. I said he'll get up here and be like, "I just woke up."
Yeah, they were supposed to call before they came out, and the guy just showed up 5 minutes after I drove my kid to marching band because I was waiting for the phone call, and then I get the big yellow thing on the door. It's like, sorry, we missed you. Sorry, you never called. Anyway.
Wow.
No, it just has to do with the New World Order. A lot of people have the theory that it's all about government control because New World Order, the mark of the beast, all that, the RFID chip, it's all about control. It says you won't be able to buy or sell anything without the mark of the beast. 5G is the ultimate in control. It's going to be on every street corner. It's going to be the ultimate in control. It's going to sound like it's all for fast internet speeds, but it's going to be about government control. That's what it's going to be about.
And that's the other end of the coin. When they put this thing at the top of the telephone pole to give you better internet, it gives them better access. Okay. Now you're getting into, NSA listening in through Alexa devices. They can zero in on the 5G router on your block. And literally that 5G router is going to be less than 500 feet from that listening device. And they're going to get a nice crystal clear signal. They're going to be able to hear if you're running water in the background in the kitchen sink,
Well, I mean, if you're going to go that far, what about the cities that have closed circuit TVs out in the public? That's already one step there.
Oh, yeah.
They're already watching you.
They have had facial recognition software in place on cameras like that since 2002.
They have facial recognition on your phone. You think that's just to unlock your phone? Come on, now.
Right?
Well,
And
imagine they
fingerprinting?
Uber Goober says, ha ha ha, my Alexa just woke up. Thanks, Ghost.
imagine if they dial the RFID chip into the 5G.
Oh, they'd be able to track you one step at a time as you walk down to the grocery store, down the street.
I was making the thing about the conspiracy with the biblical end of days. It's like it talks about people hiding out like in caves, things like that, trying to not be found. Why would that be from something that was written thousands of years ago? Now you look at it, seems totally plausible. There won't be anywhere to hide.
Well,
Nowhere. 5G would be on the
phones that you remember the show Futurama?
Yep.
They're coming out with phones that you actually embed in your wrist or wherever you want.
Yep. You could just
and you just literally touch. No, you literally touch your wrist and it will pop up like a hologram. And you answer your calls and texts that way.
Weird. 75 people in the house, guys. Make sure you're smashing that like button for us. Get that algorithm going.
I got to tweet this out, actually.
I can't believe we got 75 people in the house tonight. That's awesome.
Hey, you guys are popular.
I wasn't the only one that saw it. Ghost Advocate saw it too. I'm telling you.
I've actually seen something like that, but it was a bracelet that you had on your wrist, and it projected the phone screen on your arm from the bracelet.
No, there's a chip that they want to invent. So you think about it, okay? If they actually come out with this chip that gets embedded in you, what's to say that it's not going to have the same capabilities as the chip that Green Bay was mentioning?
Yeah, I still think they're years away from that kind of hologram type technology.
I don't think they're years away from it. I think they have it already. They just haven't.
Oh, I'm not saying that they don't have it already, but I'm saying that right now it's not a viable. There's no viable economical way to make it mainstream affordable for anybody.
No, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not released yet.
Some companies are chipping people in Wisconsin. Can you believe that? Because I'm a cheesehead from Wisconsin. Some businesses are introducing it in their workplace already.
I heard they just put it in the cheese, and then when you eat it, like lodges in your lower intestines somehow, and you're chipped. You probably got about 5 or 6 chips in there.
Yeah, I think so. Oh my goodness. No, I really do. There's a lot of interesting documentaries out right now on 5G. A lot of talk about 5G and government control in the end of the world. I do agree with Lou what he was saying. It's going to be so powerful. My goodness. It may actually control people just by the signal being so powerful. It's proven they have those weapons that just use sound.
But that's the thing, though, is it is powerful, but it's only powerful for about 500 feet each direction. There's about 3 city blocks each way, and they actually have to cover the city in a network of these on top of telephone poles because they can't just put one on a tower. It doesn't have the range. That's why they create these networks that's why they have to do it one city at a time. Now, the best one so far as to already having a network of things like that in place is Xfinity. And if you ever drive through like a city, you can pick up Xfinity hotspots all over the city that isn't just people's, routers in their homes. They actually put Wi-Fi hotspots on the street in most areas. And, as long as you're an paying Xfinity customer and have your login in there, you can connect to Xfinity Wi-Fi pretty much wherever you go. So the more hotspots they add out there and update with this 5G technology, the better their internet service is going to be because they're way ahead of the game. They've been putting these net down in cities for the last 5-6 years. So they've got to jump on the whole 5G thing right now. because they've already got networks like this in place.
Well, you want to know what the real theory is about that's going around? Is since you're talking conspiracies on the biblical thing, the conspiracy is that, you know, everyone's heard the term the Antichrist, right?
Mm-hmm.
They actually, if you read up on it, there's a lot of people that actually think it'll be more of, and it says in the Bible, well, they'll be made to worship the beast, you know, mark of beast, all that stuff. The theory actually is that it'll be a robotic holographic type figure.
Artificial intelligence,
and that the 5G will tie into that, because in order for everyone to worship this holographic robotic type figure, they'll have to get the signal everywhere. And that
I don't know why they just don't call 5G what it is. Skynet.
So I mean, that's, you know, that is a conspiracy out there. It's legitimate. You can read about that.
The way, and this was scientists, like actual scientists that were paid to do these studies. What they actually said is, we're actually going, because we're going out and we're fighting for the new iPhone, and we're fighting for the new Galaxy or whatever the new phone is. We're begging for this technology that's hurting us. And what they said is, we're basically microwaving ourselves. We might as well put ourselves right in our kitchen microwave and turn it on high, because that's what we're doing. We're taking the oxygen right out of our DNA, right out of our cells.
Another, I'll tell you what, Lou, there's certain things you can do to show signs of prolonged exposure. Plant some trees in your yard, fruit trees. Fruit trees, they're more sensitive than like an oak or something like that. A fruit tree, if they're being exposed to radiation, it'll kill that tree faster than it will like a sugar maple. Sugar maple will grow so fast it'll just, you know. But you know, fruit trees, things like that, they usually don't go over 18 feet tall. They'll put out fruit. But if there is radiation exposure in your area, that tree will die off real quick. If you can't get a fruit tree to grow in your property, then there might be some exposure in your area. So there's little tips and tricks that you can do. Tomato plants is another thing. They're sensitive. They're sensitive to hot and cold, radiation, all kinds of stuff. You can give them too much sunlight. You can give them too much water. You know, you can kill a tomato plant pretty quick.
Hi, Becky. Well, the way these scientists are explaining it is, there's pretty much nowhere that isn't being exposed. There's pretty much nowhere that you're going to go and be safe.
Well, I don't think that's the case yet, because the 5G isn't everywhere yet.
Well, no, the reason they say this is because it's already with the 4G.
Yeah, the 4G
already exposing us to way too much. The 4G is already too much. So 5G is just the next step.
Yeah, they're saying by 2030, the whole world will be covered in 5G. That's 11 years.
And you know what's funny is Sir Isaac Newton. He actually wasn't just a scientist. He actually predicted that the world will end in the year 2060.
Well, here's the other side of the coin. Here's the other side of the coin. Now, I want to throw like X-Men theory out there to you, but I have to say, you know, evolution is the next step. Mutation, evolution is the next step. What's going to happen next? We're gonna end up with like a third nostril here in a few years or something. You know, they're gonna have more babies born with like cleft palates, so they get more air and more oxygen. You know, mutations are gonna be more frequent.
Yeah, we're degrading.
That's my prediction. That's my prediction. And they'll be necessary to survive. People will think, well, we got, you know, my baby has been born with a cleft palate. Well, you know, there might have been a reason for that. God might have had a reason for that to happen, so that child could survive in the conditions that he's going to be growing up in.
This is true.
You know what I'm saying? It's not always an abnormality. There might be a reason for it. You know what I mean? It might be an actual genetic mutation to combat the effects of what's going on in the world today.
5G is about ultimate government control. I guarantee it's about ultimate worldwide control.
I sent you a couple videos and links, Ghosts in Hangouts, and they're to do with the RFID chip that Wacky was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And another one is a German company came out with a chip similar to that, but it is for your phone and computer, and it gets embedded in your head.
Yeah, but you know, the RFID chip, you know, they say it's in the name of righteousness, so to speak. But don't you want people to have your diabetic information if you get in a car accident and all that? There's been studies that the RFID chip will actually physically change your body.
Well, the one that I pulled up for the RFID chip, the guy that had it, they show a man actually getting it installed. It's installed between your thumb and your index finger, okay? And you can actually press on it, and you can unlock your phone, your house. You can start your car with it, like pretty much everything.
Well, they got to sell you on it. That's what they want to sell you on, why it's a good thing to have it.
I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying like that's what they were talking about.
No, I mean, that's how they'll sell people on taking it. It's good to have this chip. You know, wouldn't it be easier to be in the checkout line at Walmart and just hold your hand up, you know? And I mean, it's going to be nuts.
I don't want to play the devil's advocate, but you know, back and somebody even said RFID is to 1984. Now, 1984, what was the chip that came out in 1984? Do you remember that?
The microchip?
No, there was a chip. It was called the V chip.
Oh, V chip.
For parental controls.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yes, the V chip. Parental controls for your VCRs, for your stereos, for your televisions. You know, you could get the V chip box. So your kids wasn't watching porno. That was the devil back then. Everybody was saying back then what they're saying now about the RFID chip. And now you say V chip and you're like, oh yeah, okay. My kid can hack that V chip in about 10 seconds, okay? Like the V chip. That turned out to be a big joke. I mean, now they still use it. It's still in televisions and things today, but it's parental controls. It gives parents control over what their children are watching. Nobody ever uses it. If they do use it, they set the passcode to 0000. So it's, you know, the kids figure this out. I mean, and nowadays, between all the handheld video games and things that they have, you know, unless you take that thing out of the box before you give it to them at Christmas time and set up the V chip in their little Nintendo DS, guess what, guys? They can go on to the internet. It has a browser in it. They can watch porn right from their Nintendo DS. How do I know this? Yep. Because we took my sons away from him when he was 13, pulled up his web browser, pulled up the history, and he had been watching Pornhub. Honest to God. Busted him doing it. So there is so many ways around the V-chip. You know, these kids today, even their iPods, their iPads, and all that stuff, you know, unless you take that and set up the V-chip program in it, the parental controls, you know, there's always ways around it.
Even with the parental controls, there's ways around it.
Yeah. But yeah, 1984, that was the devil back then, was the V-chip, and everybody was talking about it. You know, that they're going to put it under our skin, and we won't even be able to fart or swear anymore. Or, you know, it's just like the South Park movie. You know, like that was all about the V-chip.
Well, I think the other reason you might laugh at this, and this is just theory, but that's what the show is, right? Conspiracy theory.
That's right.
All right, so 5G. You know, back to the biblical thing, it's like Christians are going to be reported to the government, you know, to get whacked out, basically. everyone's gonna need a good line of communication. So they actually teach kids nowadays to tell on your friends. For at school, it's like they're training the kids. Hey, it's a good thing to tell on your friends. Go to the principal, go to the teachers. Tell on your friends for doing stuff.
Well, I mean, with that being said, though, I mean, look at all the school shootings and the kids being disgruntled with teachers or stuff. When I went to high school, I actually paid a friend of mine $20 to slash like my science teacher's tires, and she did it. So that's like, hey, all right, But I didn't go into the place with an AR-15 and shoot up the place because I didn't like the guy. I just had his tires slashed on his pickup truck.
Well, that's a different conspiracy because I think some of that's being done by the government itself.
Well, that's another theory as well.
It's another theory.
I don't think all of them has been done by the government, but I think
not all of them, not all
done by the government to push through anti-gun laws and things like that.
Well, some people actually are saying that you probably heard this one where one of two things, that actually some of this stuff was done by the government itself, or number two is that they've actually mind controlled certain people to actually carry certain things out. You've probably heard that one, I'm sure.
Kelly says, Ghost Mafia, I think we should just watch The Simpsons to find out the future. That's true.
Yep.
Matt Groening, the guy who wrote The Simpsons as well as Futurama.
I just got up, Cab.
Very intelligent individual. Has actually accurately predicted the outcome of like the presidency and a few other things in the Simpsons episodes.
Ghost, you just got a super chat from Cap.
I was just about to say that. $20 super chat from Cab7, my brother.
I just got to say, you and Lou are very knowledgeable on keeping up on events, like about a lot of these conspiracies. Lou, I put that in your corner, man. You and Ghost, you're the right two that do this show.
Well, and here's the crazy thing. I didn't know that he was going to touch on the 5G subject tonight. And I just moved into this new house. I got the internet and everything turned on, and we got the 5G 2.4 gigahertz router, split router, whatnot. But the Xfinity router actually does like the dual band at once, where it doesn't separate the bandwidth into two separate things. It actually streams them both together over both facets so that you get higher internet speeds. So I started doing the research on the 5G just because, I've got that technology in my house right now as far as the internet. Unfortunately, none of my equipment is 5G ready. I'd have to update.
You can get an adapter because I have some old computers.
You can get a plug-in like a Wi-Fi stick to plug into the laptop that'll convert.
Yep.
But
it'll pick it up. Yep. That was true. No conspiracy there. That's actually true.
But I didn't know that he was going to go with the 5G topic tonight, and I had actually done my homework on it. So, yay!
I didn't do any homework. I'm sorry. I was just invited up here. What show is this again? Is this Cab 7's?
Question everything.
Oh, I thought it was on Cab 7's stream. I'm sorry.
Green Bay, don't feel bad. I didn't do any homework either, and then he sends me a link.
No, it's always a privilege to come up on someone's panel. You
and
guys
Lou's over there really quiet right now. I don't know why.
Well, I was trying to figure out if there's a conspiracy if Lou Rock fell asleep on his own show.
Oh yeah. Here, I have a conspiracy for you. Hold on.
Oh, he's gonna fart on the microphone again. Yeah. Oh no. Oh no.
I don't know what's worse. The fact that he does that or the fact that he puts his face by it afterwards.
Right. I couldn't do that.
I'll tell you what, that fart was definitely 5G.
I'll tell you what, I don't think that was a fart. I
don't think it was real. It's a conspiracy.
No, I've literally seen him turn his camera on and do that.
Yeah, I have to.
You've seen me do what?
Fart into your mic.
That was 100% legitimate fart.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
There was even a little bit of chunks that came out at the end.
Oh, dude.
That's what happens when you're exposed to 5G.
Mile High Savage says, Ghost Mafia, I literally just signed up for that today. Are you talking about the Flex box? Yeah, it's a weird looking little box. I'll show you the one I got here. Let me turn
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize there's two different bandwidths. There's the 2.4 and the 5.0, and everyone thinks they're going to get the 5.0. Then they realize they have a 10-year-old laptop.
Yeah, there's the 5G box that I got from Xfinity.
Oh, that's the mesh box, I think.
Yeah, it's the newest one that Xfinity offers right now.
All I know is these scientists, they were doing studies, and when they came back to the companies with their results, the companies started regulating them and telling them, listen, this is how we're going to do the your research and stuff from now on, because the companies were scared, because these are scientists. The scientists are doing their job as scientists. They're not partial to working for Verizon or whatever company it may be. But after watching this video, and these guys that actually worked for these companies talking about, they actually showed the effects on blood cells from different levels of the RF exposure, radio frequency exposure, and low level between, I think it was like less than 300, you could see just a little bit of degradation in the cells. Also, they raised it up. They started hitting it with more RF, and you can see the cells literally evaporating, being completely destroyed. And these scientists actually say, this can be reversed. If you get your cells damaged by this, it can be reversed simply by not exposing yourself to these waves anymore. But the thing is, there's not going to be anywhere for you to go to get away from them. So now that Faraday cage that you were talking about earlier, Ghost, is going to be pretty much the only way to stay safe. Everybody's going to start having to build Faraday cages around their house, and never mind your internet signal. You need to worry about your life.
Well, I got to tell you about a big conspiracy.
You mean the fact that Cab 7 is on the panel?
No, it's worse than that.
It's worse than that.
How can it be worse than that?
Yeah, the conspiracy is that the guy that's on the panel is actually the 5G tower installer.
Oh.
And his name's Cab 7.
I've seen him up. But you know what? The reason his name is Cab 7, because what's coming next? 7G. Cab 7G.
Actually, if you want the right internet speeds, you have to have Cab 7 Ethernet cable.
Mm-hmm. You're actually right, but I was disturbed by something trying to get up to this panel, and it happened twice. But I tripped over several chunks of, I don't know, of something, and it smelled like gasculence or something like that. But I did finally get up here, so I'm going to blame this on Blue Rock.
Yeah,
And
I think I'm probably pretty right about my theory.
Yeah, that'll slow down your internet as well.
Yeah.
All you got to do is get on Cab 7's computer. Your internet will be plenty slow. Don't worry about it.
Hey, guys, I'll be right back.
Well, I gotta go. There's a lot of postulation going on.
Yeah, I gotta go wipe my ass after that, so I'll be right back.
That's just great. There's a lot of postulation going on when it comes to he was talking about the 200 DHS. Well, if you have the 200 DHS problem, you ain't going to get to 300. And that's because for the apathotherapy can cause a little bit of reduction in the water solution. So, I mean, if you want to go ahead with that theory of degradation of cellulation of postulation, it can cause determination, and I've got plenty of that.
And doesn't that lead to premature ejaculation?
I didn't know this was that kind of program, but I can work with that.
This is totally ludicrous and preposterous, and you're
That was a hot mic, folks.
That was a hot mic.
That was a hot mic.
and fallacious.
He was talking to Uber Goober lady. That was a hot mic.
You know, I've got to say,
apologize for Ghost on his
something
own
that can
show.
solve all people's problems on this planet. I've already figured it out. So you don't need to worry about all this scientific shit. And it's called Reese's, okay?
Reese's.
That will solve the world's problems right there, all in a bag.
Actually, do you know that and there's several websites now, it's even on Amazon, they sell, it's a medallion that's made up of like charcoal and a couple of other different elements that will actually absorb radiation. True story. They are actually selling like medallions. They got little stuff printed on them, things like that. You can wear them as a necklace and they will absorb radiation. They so that you're not exposed as much.
Yeah, but there's going to be a combustion of 10.6 APRs on that. So you got to be real careful. Ghost.
I'm still wondering how I end up on a panel with all of you.
Cab, you might have them full, but you ain't got me.
I'm waiting for you to do the Spock thing, kind of raise your eyebrow a little bit. Go, huh? You might be right. Sounds good there, Alyssa. Wow. Miss Becky Taylor, you hot little thing. How are you doing, girl? Jerry Shields, so good to see you. Erica Thorpe.
How many rads per hour will it absorb? I don't know. You know what? I know that they're selling them on Wish and Amazon and eBay. I'm going to go to Wish right now. I'm going to look them up.
By the way, I did want to say hi to everyone out in the chat. You've just got too many damn people out there. I can't say hi to them all. You've got 81 in the chat.
Oh, I'm loving it. It's great.
Wait,
Everyone in the chat.
See, there you go.
I didn't even say hi to JoJo.
Again, if this was not on this channel and it was not this show, you know what would be happening right now.
Mile High Savage, I totally agree with that. I've got mine running about 95% of the time. And it's 4G rated, so.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
It's storming here really bad.
Ooh. Becky, you're always doing good. Don't tell me, oh, you're just doing okay. You're doing fantastic, girl.
Hey, Panka. Brian's good. He's in the kitchen.
I think you're in the right ballpark, though. I think a lot of people are going to be talking about 5G as it slowly creeps up.
Well, China's already got it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're swimming in 5G and just enjoying the hell out of it. And they're looking back at us and pointing their finger and laughing.
But the other thing, I know this is sound kind of crazy, but is conspiracies. All this, cell phone stuff. Everyone's really becoming desensitized to even their own fellow man. I mean, we're just you go anywhere. What do you see? Everyone's just staring at their phone like a zombie. I went to the dentist's office the other day. No one's talking to each other. Everyone's just staring in their own world. They're just looking on their phone. They wouldn't even be aware someone's.
Well, back in the old days, Dave, it was magazines. You go into a doctor's office and your entertainment was magazines or on a channel that you can't touch. You got to keep on that one channel, but before cell phones,
Yeah.
So if people would freak out if we had to go back to a time like that, it's like, could I handle it?
But look at the jumping technology too. Look at the 1800s. People were still going around with horses.
That's right.
And look at us now. Now we're on YouTube. I mean, it's really not that far back.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I have a cell phone, and I am so happy when it dies. If I'm out and my phone dies, I am so happy because I'm not getting text messages. I'm not getting anything. Like, it's just quiet.
Yeah.
Well, I know this is, it's conspiracy, but I actually think that the government would just love for our generation to go away, because the kids nowadays are so dumbed down. Sorry, kids, that very easily going to be controlled by the government.
Oh yeah.
The kids are going to, you know what? When they come out with the RFID chip, and if it is the mark of the beast, they're going to line up. As a matter of fact, some kids will be, dude, give me 2. Logan Paul said get 2, 1 on each arm, man. I mean, that's what's going to happen. Jake, man, he told me to get one on my forehead too. Put it right there, man. 666, man.
Yeah, it's a okay. So these are black lava stone medallion necklaces that absorb radiation.
Yeah, made to be addictive. Ghost advocate. Yeah.
It does not say how many. It does not say how many rads per hour they'll absorb or anything like that. It just says, radiation protection. Blah blah blah. Yeah.
By the way, I read up Lou's right. Some people are theorizing, like it's a conspiracy kind of thing, that 5G will actually be able to cook people alive.
Yeah, no, it's trust me, I didn't just come up here without doing my research.
That's true, actually, Lou. I just read that, actually.
Yeah, no, they're thinking that 5G will be the first weaponized cell phone, service that whenever they want, it's just like those directed energy weapons. All they have to do is, aim it at somebody and zap them. And
imagine that you step out of line with the government and they just zap. They just push a button, zap everyone in a 10-foot radius of this IP address. You just die right in your garage.
What scares me is I have been seeing a lot of people who have been exhibiting a lot of the symptoms that I was hearing about when it comes to this kind of technology. They said already with the 4G, we're already being exposed to levels that are thousands of times higher than the human body or anything living, for that fact, should be exposed to. And that 5G is just going to be so much more. It's crazy. And then
here's something, Lou, and it's put out by Valspar. It is a paint for your house that has this black volcanic stuff in it.
Or you'd just be lucky if you got old lead paint in your house. Because if you got lead paint in your house, then you're already protected.
Yeah, they actually have the paint that has the radiation absorption in it. I guess that would be like, would that keep it from fading maybe? With like the sun rays, the sun radiation, things like that?
They tested an apartment building, and because there's so many different people using cell phones in the building, the levels in these apartment buildings, like in New York City per se, are so high, it's ridiculous. And these were scientists. This isn't just some YouTubers making up stuff out of their ass. Also, there's been debates on this in Congress, and there's actually a few politicians that are really, really opposed to this 5G going into action. And I don't think we have a say in the deal. It's coming, and we better just be ready for it. It's coming. It'll be here in a couple weeks.
It's already here. It's just not on the wide scale yet.
Yeah, that's the thing. And everybody's talking about the 5G technology, but there's only a certain amount of cities that have it right now.
Yeah, I just got fiber optic internet. Why do you think I just got fiber optic internet?
Actually, fiber optic would be the best thing to have, considering fiber optic is done by light through a cable.
But it's us to usher in the 5G. They need the network to be able to handle it.
Yep.
You're not going to have any say in it because, someone might knock on your door and say, hey, we want to put a 5G tower on your roof. And you might say, no, it doesn't matter. Your neighbor's going to get it.
Oh, they ain't gonna put it on your roof. They'll put it on the telephone pole. They already have contracts.
Well, you know what I mean. I mean, it's
Yeah.
gonna be
Well,
Well, companies and electric companies.
we have a cell phone tower. I'll take a picture of it. It's about, I don't know, 100 yards from my house. And they had the cranes out there about a week ago, and they already retrofitted it for 5G. So we already got it right here where I'm at.
5G is the ultimate takeover of the world. It's going to be ultimate control. Every move, everything you do, everything. It's already in our cell phones.
I watched 2 videos yesterday on China, and these cameras are pretty wild because they will pinpoint you, and they will tell you how much income you're making, what your credit score is. They'll know what you wear for clothing, what your schedule is, what you eat, what you shop for. It's all factual. I mean, you should see the cameras around these big cities over in China. You have no privacy whatsoever. None.
And you get a score too over there. Your score.
That's right. They can, if you want to leave the country to go on vacation or something, if you don't have a certain score, that's right. You can't get certain jobs. You can't leave the country. It's terrible.
And you know what I just saw a commercial on yesterday?
There we go. There's a proof right there. Megan's just said 100% correct.
Yep. I saw a commercial. It was a girl, young girl, of course, and she's all happy because she's renting a car from the airport, and she's driving out, and she gets scanned. They're saying, possibly with a retina in her eye, but she gets scanned, and she's all happy because she gets out of the airport fast because there's no paperwork, no nothing. Just jump in the car, look at the thing. Oh yeah. And she goes, and she's all happy driving her car. Oh, that was great. No wait at the airport.
And here's the other another side of the coin for the 5G. Now, Chevy, Ford, and a few other car companies have been making hotspots in cars for years. For the last 10 years, they've been you can have your Wi-Fi in your car turned on, and your car can be a hotspot. Damn straight, they're going to be putting 5G technology in those cars now.
I'm telling you, they want the public to be able to report people for anything.
Not only that, have you ever noticed you driving down the highway, get next to a Greyhound bus? Greyhound buses have free Wi-Fi on their buses now. And if you're driving beside them, you can connect right to it from in your car. True story. So now you have not only half the cars on the road over the last 10 years, you got the Greyhound buses. How long before they put Wi-Fi hotspots in the semi-trucks going down the road? So
They have them.
constant.
Up here they do.
There's a theory that they're installing 5G hotspots in Cab 7's hats. That's why he wears, the larger size ones.
Damn right.
That's right. I mean, people don't know that. I've seen him take that hat off. I've seen what's inside it. But
Well, one thing that you didn't
I'm sorry, I
realize,
had to let that out, Cab.
I'm the inventor of the desalination plants. There's oceans out there with a lot of water, and everyone's afraid that we're going to run out of water. So I've got
Through a process of reverse osmosis, you're doing desalination and creating fresh water from salt water, right?
that is correct, exactly. It's a
Desalinization, maybe?
desalinization. It costs a lot of money.
No, it's decarbonization. I'm sorry. Let's get the terminology
There
right.
is no such thing as decarbonization. They tried putting that over in the European government. Didn't work. It was a failure.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, good God.
I heard they were reinstituting that to okay, have you ever seen these videos where they have an air compressor and this foam, and your driveway has a crack in it and it's sunk down? They can drill a hole through the concrete and then pump it through the foam and raise that concrete at back up level.
Yep.
Yeah, I heard that decarbonization is lifting people up.
Well, I don't know where you heard that. When it's decarbonization, that means it's letting people down.
Oh,
And apparently, this carbonation, he's just one hell of a bad fucker.
recarbonization. That's what I meant to say. Recarbonization.
That's a good one.
I would bet you, you had mentioned earlier, politicians being opposed to 5G. I would bet you that any politician that's going to vocally try to oppose 5G is going to mysteriously end up gone.
They're actually debating it right now. You could look up right on YouTube the debates over it, and they're what their biggest fight is that there's no evidence of it, that those RF waves don't affect us on ground level, that they're more higher in the air. So us people that are on ground level are safe, but not all of us live on ground level. Some of us live in apartment buildings that are 5, 6, 7, 8 stories in the air.
Well, I just joined a new group out there. It's called the Cleavaginization Party. And the more cleavaginization that you have, the more that you're going to be on the higher level. So I know exactly what you're talking about, Lou. You're above everyone else.
Trouble, girl.
I think JoJo's the inventor of that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she is one of the highest CEOs of that. Yeah, exactly.
You know, imagine if people get this RFID chip, you got 5G, and back to your other thing that they could just zap you dead in your tracks right in your house.
But here's the deal. We already have the RFID. It's in your pocket. It's it's that cell phone that you have.
It's in your credit card.
And what we were just talking about is that 5G, once it comes and they want to zap you, they just can zap you. That's it. We're fighting. We're chomping at the bit to get these new phones, to get these new things.
Isn't that crazy?
And we're willing to spend like $1,000 for the iPhone X.
$2,000, $1,500.
Yeah.
$1,500. And I'll bet that costs $1.69 to make in China. Maybe more than $1.69, but you know.
I guarantee you're probably right. $1.69. Look
Isn't
at
it ludicrous. These prices of phones. That's insanity.
Remember when CDs cost us $20 and $25 a piece, and it cost a fraction of a penny for them to burn those?
Yeah.
I think we all should just refer to Green Bay Wacky's music video. You're totally screwed.
You're totally screwed. That's right. You are totally screwed.
I think you need a new version of that.
You're totally screwed because of 5G.
Yes.
5G, totally screwed.
5G, totally screwed.
When you go through the toll gates in China,
taken out by the men in black.
When you go through the toll gates in China, there's a photo taken of you every time you go through them, according to what Megan says.
Mm-hmm. I believe that.
Actually, we have that here in the United States. Now, you have no choice but to have a fast pass. And if you don't have one, a picture of your license plate is taken, and you are sent a really high ticket for not owning the technology. And I don't think that's very fair, especially in a country like ours, the United States of America, where our veterans fought for our freedoms, and now we're losing them one day at a time.
Well, they're just going to take all the poor people and lock them up in Walmart stores.
You know what? You'd be surprised how true that is.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. The chip that's on our credit cards, that's just, they just want to get it as close to your body as possible. So when they tell you they want to put it in your body, everyone's going to go, oh, yeah, why not? So
Devereaux says they can watch you through your phones even when it's off.
Yeah, I believe that.
Now, here's the thing. If you watch, I've got my camera up here, and every few seconds you'll see a little light flash in the camera.
Yeah, and you can't see that light by eye.
No, it's infrared.
Yeah, you can only see it if you show it up to the camera. I showed you that.
Yeah.
What's funny? We have a security camera in the house, and when we had Alex and Bobby here, they have iPhones, and she was sitting on the couch, and when I was looking at the interior camera in the house, her phone was on her lap, and it was doing the exact same thing.
Yep.
The beeping. Here, I'll show it to you on mine. You can see.
Yeah, the strobing.
Yeah, I know for a fact that the government can watch you through the phone. I got an email in my Gmail the other day, and it said, we watched your performance with your wife last night, and you need to go to a sexual therapist. I It's true. It's true. I'm sorry. The government is watching. I should have put my phone out in the kitchen. Sorry.
Now there is technology. There's even technologies in the phone. There's apps that you can get, and you see where the flash is on my phone right here. You could take your finger, put it on the flash, start the app, and it will take your blood pressure.
Yep.
Or heart rate. It'll measure your heart rate through that flash sensor.
They said that the radio frequency levels of a Fitbit are bad for your body. They're at such levels that a Fitbit is actually toxic to your body. It's actually considered a carcinogen. These RF waves are considered a carcinogen.
Well, and now with the Fitbit, the back of the Fitbit is a metal back, and it has like a static charge that has to, just like your touch screens, it works the same way. There's an electrical static charge. That's how you move the cursor with your finger and all that stuff with the touch screens. But in the cases of hypersensitivity, the electromagnetic fields and things like that, people have been coming up with burns from those watches, from the static, from the electricity that's going into their arm to be able to read the blood pressure and heart rate and monitor them. So that if they're really sensitive to the electromagnetic, they will actually get like electric burns on their arms from wearing those Fitbits and things.
That's exactly what I'm getting at.
They're doing retina scans with the phones now, aren't they? I think they're doing eye scanning, right?
Yep.
You know how you could tell they're always listening? I'm going to prove it right now. I'm going to prove that they're always listening. Hey, Siri. Oh, my phone's on mute. I'm sorry. Hello there. Well, how did she know what I said? How did she know that I said that?
Voice recognition.
It's because they're listening. Same thing happens if you say any key words. It might not say hello there, but it activates a certain program that goes to a certain place, and you're being listened to.
See,
all you do is look on YouTube. You start talking about Ford trucks on a live stream, you'll have Ford truck commercials on your videos.
I watched a video the other day on Facebook where this person, they had a YouTube channel, and they said a trigger word with Donald Trump in the sentence, and the Secret Service actually showed up at their door to question them about it.
Wow.
Actually showed up knocking at their door like a day later. They investigate every single instance like that. If you were to say a trigger word with Donald Trump in it on your YouTube channel, not only would you probably get flagged and taken down for 90 days, but the Secret Service will show up at your door and question you about it.
What was the trigger word?
Yeah.
I'm not saying.
Yeah.
No, type it.
You can imagine.
Type it to me because I got a few trigger words for the.
I'll let you put up all the trigger words you want.
Are any of Green Bay Wacky's 5 words trigger words?
Oh my goodness. No. 7. It's 7 words now, Lou.
I think they trigger cab 7.
Bet you I can make that list about 8.
A cab, actually, he could put it into triple digits, no problem.
Guys, 71 people in here watching. Smash that like button. Guys, share this out. We're going into the second hour. Well, actually, we're into the second hour. But all right, Conklin. So they'll be coming to your house now since you said it. I hope not.
I hope they go to Ghost Mafia's house. It's not my house.
Yeah, and I didn't say any of those words, so I'll send them over to Ghost.
Yes.
Because I've got 5G and it's very fast, so I'll be able to.
Green Bay, I think me and you should get together and testify against Ghost.
They can't come to my house. They wanted to.
They might not. They might not have a easy time finding me unless they trace the IP address or something like that. But
I actually think that it'll. My personal opinion, I think the technology will be so fast. I think it'll be like the Salem witch trials all over again. I think it'll be like people are going to be making calls like, Yeah, my neighbor Bob Johnson, he's a witch. Oh, yeah, okay, zap. It'll just be like that, like all day long.
Yep.
Spectral evidence, you know.
You know what's really scary? Now, in our area, the electric man comes along, and he's got this thing in his hand, looks like a remote control. He doesn't even have to get out of his car, and he'll tell you how much your electric bill is going to be just by standing
yeah.
in your house.
Yeah, I used to work for the electric company at one time. They have been trying to transition from the old style meters to remote meters for 20 years now. And they actually the meter box on the side of your house, most of them now are digital.
Mhm.
That's how you know that they're remote meters. They're digital now.
Yeah.
And they send out a signal once every 20 seconds. It'll just ping a signal, and all they have to do is go down the street and hit enter in front of your house and pick up that signal. It gives a digital reading. They don't even have to get out of the car. And the reason that they went to that is because they had so many meter maids and meter readers that were being attacked by dogs because they just blindly go into fences and go around. There's places that you had to go inside the building and down into basements. I've actually had to do it myself. I used to walk 15 miles a day for the power company reading meters. And literally, they give you an umbrella and a can of bear mace. If you get attacked by the dog, you're supposed to take that umbrella and shove it in their face, open it up, and they'll attack the umbrella, and you drop it and run like hell. And if he's still coming at you, you hit him with the bear mace and keep running. But that's it. They mainly did that to take down the number of people getting hurt by dogs.
I always tell people, I had this debate with some friends of mine. Many people want a cashless society, take away the cash. They got to get rid of it. It's old fashioned. It's like, do you realize, people, that once cash is gone, 100% all freedom's gone. When you have to do everything electronically, then that's it. You can't buy anything without a record of it. At least with cash, I could leave my cell phone at home and I could actually go buy a gun, a generator, a car, a 4x4, a diesel, a generator, anything. Just remember, people, keep cash. Keep cash. Don't fight to get rid of it.
Well, I'm going to do better than that. Gold and silver.
Gold and silver, yep.
But you know what I'm saying? People want to get rid of cash, and they don't realize, most people that I know that want to get rid of cash are like my relatives that are like well off.
You can go out and buy a 1 ounce silver bar and put it in the safe in the house. When everything goes south, gold and silver is still going to be
it's always going to have value. Always
going to have value.
Yep.
In fact, they now sell like the it looks like a credit card, but it's scored. And each little square on it is worth so many dollars. And they're made of pure gold. And they're scored, and you can break off little pieces and use them like coin. Each piece is worth like $20 or something like that. And you can carry them in your wallet just like a credit card.
Yeah, I mean, you could go on eBay right now and buy half gram, 2 grams, 5 grams, 10 grams of gold and silver if you want to. A lot of people are doing that. I mean, there's a part of society that's into that. They're the off-rooters.
You got to watch because there's a lot of scam ones out there now that are the inside's lead and they're just gold plated. They've been finding a lot of those out there, so you really have to watch.
You know what I don't understand is why, like in America, you look back to how we started out. How did just in the span of a short few hundred years did the people give up everything to the government?
That was in the plan. That was the grand design, man.
The grand design. But think about that. Remember, it was to escape government control.
You want to know why, though? Because nobody wants to be held accountable for anything they do. Easier to pass the buck. Therefore, if you let someone else take control, you're no longer to blame. But then you also have no say.
Well, Ghost knows this because, when it comes to guns, people misinterpret the Second Amendment all the time. That was to take your government back. That's why it was the right to bear arms. It wasn't that your government would now get to control your arms. It's like, it was the right to take your government back. They got out of line. That's been eroded away. You know, that message is gone. No one even knows that.
Yep.
They wanted the people to have the power to take the government back, and that's gone now. It's totally gone.
Well, and that's been the thing for the last 100 years. It's been, let's give the public what they want. Let's make them so dependent on television and internet and phones that they need us. Now it's we're the children, they're the adults. They know what's best for us, and that's what they're going to tell us. Is that right? No, everybody needs to think for themselves. Everybody needs to question everything. They need to question the government. They need to question, what's happening. They need to do the research on the 5G. They need to find out what those little dots on the mailbox really mean. Question everything. Don't just accept what the government tells you on a daily basis, because 90% of the time, it's going to be fiction.
And I don't care what anyone says. There ain't no groups of militia that are going to be able to stand up to the government. I don't care how big your group is. They'll take you out with a drone. They'll have a cup of coffee while they take your group out. Oh, there's some group over in the woods over here. Send drone number 600 over there. I need some more coffee. Do you get some cream? There ain't gonna be no.
That's why we do this show. We want to raise the awareness of things that are happening, in our time, and maybe some of the conspiracies from the past. Because if you don't know your past, you're doomed to repeat it. Okay.
Real talk, Terrell. Government's exactly like a narcissistic parent. No joke.
Fighting Spirit, $2 super chat, just showing some support. Ghost Mafia, much love. Thank you, Fighting Spirit.
Guys, if half of this group were to tweet this out, I'll bet we could get Lou and Ghost 100 people in this chat.
Oh, wow.
This is good information, guys. This is good information.
The whole that you got me thinking about this 5G thing, because it can be scary. Now,
5G is control. That's what it is. It's going to be control.
It's limited range, but when you start thinking about, because of the limited range, they're going to blanket cities. There's going to be one of these 5G repeaters on every telephone pole in your town by 3030.
Not only that, is that they bounce off of each other, so every device that somebody has is another part of the system.
Right.
And they wanted a reliable network while they control the people. That's what they want. They want a reliable network so all the information gets to everyone instantly. They don't want drop calls and all that when they tell you, report to station number 10 to get chipped. They don't want it to be like, well, I didn't get the memo. I had a drop call.
I mean, it's definitely scary when you think about how close they have to put that repeater to your house. It can't just be on a cell phone tower 10 miles away anymore. They have to blanket the city that you live in and literally put it on every telephone pole in the city.
But do you know how scary that is, that they're saying by 2030 it will be everywhere? That's 11 years.
Yeah.
And that's assuming they work slow. If they start working faster, 2025.
See, that's the part for me that doesn't make sense, that they're talking about like 6G technology already. They're still 11 years away from blanketing all of the United States, but they're already working on 6G, which may end up turning out to be more viable than the 5G, because it might actually have range. That might be one of those ones they can put on a cell phone tower and not have to blanket the city and cover large areas.
Well, Beth Plant said she tweeted it out, so if the government shows up at her house, it's your fault, just so you know, Ghost. And Nostalgic Angel Ashley's leaving. Have a good night. Thanks for coming.
Good night, Ashley.
Virginia Woolf, you are so true. If they turn off the internet, people will not know what to do.
Well, no, you might have to go outside and talk to actual people.
Oh, my goodness. Well, think about it. Think about how we interact here on YouTube. We're all friends. We're on our hangouts. Imagine all gone. It's all shut off, cut off.
Well,
cell phones cut off, everything. That's it.
Listen, start gathering addresses so you can write letters.
Right? Snail mail.
Yep.
And then they'll get you with the buying postage stamps. Remember when postage stamps were like a nickel a piece?
Yep.
What are they now? Like 55 cents, 58 cents or something like that?
Yeah, and they still lose money. The post
Up here,
office.
they're like $1. They're like $1.25 to $1.50 up here.
Jesus.
Well, hell, a payphone, when you can find one, a payphone here is $1.
I only know of one payphone in this area that I've seen recently, and that's out at the it's called Bar Camp State Park. It's at the beach. There's a payphone there.
I have not seen a payphone around here since I was 20, I want to say.
Riots and mental breakdowns, no one says.
Well, we already have that.
No, if they turned off the internet and stuff.
I know, but we have that internet's running.
Wait.
Do you know they could probably get a person to do anything they wanted to by simply turning off the internet? Oh, yeah, you want it back? Well, what do? Will you take the chip? I'll do anything. I'll do anything. Give me my internet back. I need Jake and Logan back, man. Bro. Where'd you go?
Davros, you just got turned blue, brother. You need to do what you need to do. Do what you need to do.
What?
Davros says, don't worry about it. It's my daughter. Oh, okay. Davros had a troll in there, but I believe the troll was his daughter.
Oh, I see it. I read the message.
So I turned Davros blue so he could lay the smack down on his troll.
I have a feeling Davros is trustworthy.
He said, you can have your wrench back, man.
Wait, it's yours now.
Virginia Woolf, Green Bay Waggy, stop giving them ideas. Now imagine this. This would be a massive conspiracy. Imagine if the government took away Cab 7's Reese's peanut butter cups.
Oh, no.
He would do anything.
Dave, I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna let you know right now. I've got Plan B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, and J.
What's that?
Take care of, Dave.
I think he's got them stashed in his pickup truck.
No room for failure. No room for failure. Determination.
Is it a conspiracy? Do you have fake panels in your pickup truck that are actually filled with Reese's pieces, just the way like the drug smugglers do that?
That top secret information.
Okay.
It's privilege.
I thought the springs looked like they were kind of riding a little low, and I think I'm putting it together now.
Dave, if you only knew it was in the back end of my pickup truck, you'd be
Really hot days. That's not oil on the ground.
I don't want to know what's in your rear end, Ben.
Well, then why'd you allow me to see what was in yours?
Oh, man.
Hey, that was innuendo. That was nothing crude.
You said innuendo.
No, innuendo. You said that. It's your show. It's on you, man. I really like this. Talking about this 5G, man. What else are you guys talking about tonight? Was it mainly 5G or?
Well, we started out with the what's his name?
I woke up late and I missed my cable guy, by the way, Cab.
Did you really?
Bastard was supposed to call first. When I drove my kid to marching band,
Yeah.
guy showed up 5 minutes later, left me the big yellow
Never
note.
fails. Never fails.
They promised me they would call first.
Yeah.
Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off there, Ghost. So now I got to reschedule it.
That's what mine did the other day too. He showed up at like 10 o'clock in the morning. He didn't call first.
Yeah, they promised they were going to. I made specific. You're going to call first. Oh, yeah, we're going to call first.
I was like, oh, shit, I better get downstairs and turn on all the computers.
Don't forget your anniversary. Oh, my goodness. Thank you, Megan's blog. Holy crap, I forgot about it again. It's on Saturday. Well, I remembered it last night, but I forgot about it today. I was supposed to provide my card number.
Here's the conspiracy.
Oh, yeah.
I think Green Bay Wacky is suffering the effects of 5G.
I think it's wacky sickness. More government control. Yes, Josie Kitty.
I heard that there is natural foods that you can eat to combat the radiation that you take in from the 5G. And one of the main elements is actually found in dog ham.
Nice.
Did Lou fall asleep in
Now,
the
can you
closet?
confirm that, Lou?
Yes.
So eating dog ham will help protect against the effects of radiation poisoning from the 5G.
Plus, it's good for your teeth.
Now, I want to tell you something funny. I want to elaborate on what Lou said. In all seriousness, back to the conspiracy thing, Lou was talking about different paints and different materials that people could get to shield their houses, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, if you have lead paint, old lead paint in your house already, your house is already blocked from a lot of these waves. Now, the lead paint isn't healthy for you either.
Well, yeah, not if you eat it.
But here's the funny thing. It ain't going to happen. The government, the people that buy these materials to shield their house, they're going to go pay for the stuff on their credit card. So the government's going to know that they put this stuff. They're going to be, hey, I'm going to protect myself from the government and the 5G.
Listen,
They're going to go to Home Depot.
Here's a tip. Invest in potassium iodide, okay? And the real stuff, not the fake stuff, because they sell the fake stuff out there too. That will protect you. That will protect you for a certain measurement of radiation. While all the other people are dying off and getting all burnt up and shit like that, you'll have taken this potassium iodide. Look it up yourself.
That is actually true.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, that's not a joke?
No, that's not a joke. That's
I
actually
never know a cab,
That is factual. There's evidence to support it.
Dave, I hung around the prepper group for quite a while. I learned some things.
See, I've got mixed emotions about that because, people say, get all ready with guns and provisions and all that. Tell me this, you're a prepper guy, right?
I'm not.
No, hypothetical, not you.
Right.
You're a prepper person. You prep your house, you got all the supplies, you got guns, you got all that.
Right.
How is that person going to fight off a mob of like 400 people?
Guns, explosives, wire fences. I'm going to fight off
400 people are going to come at that person with guns and explosives.
All right, here's the deal. Them
No
400.
way. You're not going to be able to hold on.
Oh yeah, I'll guarantee you. When them 400 people cross one of those lines that I got set up, they're bye-bye.
Here's the thing, though. Like a true prepper is going to know what's going on, and it's going to go on in the city long before it comes out to the country.
Well, here's one thing that the preppers do is they have underground bunkers that they could hide in for months before anybody even knows. People could be going through all kinds of craziness, and they're hiding under a rock, and you'll never know they're there.
Well, you got to have a plan B. So you've got the bags.
Yes, I know.
Or the bags. I've got two of them. I can't think of the name right.
Bug out bag.
Bug out bag.
Okay, yeah, we've got bug out bags. Okay, so, and I showed you one of them. It's not complete yet. I'm still working on it, but you've got to have a plan B. So if you've got a lot of shit going on in your neighborhood, you should be able to have a second place that you can go to that's already prepped, has everything, all your needs for a month or so, 3 months. And that's the place that you're going to escape to, right?
And the most secluded place.
Exactly.
The best place.
That's right.
You get out in the woods where nobody knows it's there. People they're not there that often, and that's where you want to put a bunker. You buy a little plot of land, a little acre out in the middle of nowhere with just a 2-lane dirt road going out to it or whatever. And then when shit goes south, you bug out.
If you can get there. They say a electronic pulse can take out everything all at once,
That's why you have, mountain bike.
Yeah, a mountain bike.
Well,
I'm not kidding.
A motorcycle or an on-off-road bike is that's like a regular mountain bicycle is good, but I'd rather have something with a motor on it. But still, if you got no choice, that mountain bike might be the difference.
Well, Lou,
I was
Now, here's the deal, Lou. If you're gonna have a motorbike, make sure it's pre 1973. Pre
No
1973.
computers. You don't want any.
Exactly right. Yep.
Yeah, and they actually, I read an article. I don't know if it's true or not, but they were doing some tests with some EMP, and it actually did not knock out everything the way that everyone thinks. It knocked out some stuff.
Yeah, it depends on the power of the EMP, though. You know, the EMP that was tested on was probably some kind of, you know, small device, electronic, something that they powered or whatever.
It was a variety of stuff.
Yeah, you talk about the EMP from a giant solar flare or a nuclear bomb, everything's going out.
Well, and in the instance that the electric doesn't go out, your communications are going to go out, because those computers that are driving the communication system, your internet, your social medias, what happens when you put a magnet next to a hard drive? It erases it. It erases it. So no more operating system.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's what happens with the vehicles. It erases the operating systems for the vehicles, and they won't start. So
That's why you need walkie-talkies and all that stuff.
I always think of a line from Mad Max where at the beginning they're like, it says we built our society on a house of straw. Imagine if the government shut our gasoline off.
That's the one thing.
They
You
turn
know
our
what?
gas off.
You just hit on the
No more
one-
gasoline. No more cars to drive.
Here's what happened to us, all right? Springfield, Massachusetts. We lost our power for 2 weeks, and the electric company told us we're going to be down for 2 weeks at least, okay? So, since the power was down, all the gas stations were down, because all the gas stations, there's no more manual pumps at any of these gas stations around here. So immediately nobody could get gas. Then after that, everybody went and bought everything at Walmart. There was literally no food. There was nothing at Walmart. Then we had people fighting over gas, literally baseball bats and fighting over gas.
and then the price gouging comes in.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Then the price
$10 a
gouging.
gallon.
You got the guy at the back of the line who got a couple barrels and he's selling them for a couple grand just to get out of town. But that's the scary part about that is that's 2 weeks. Imagine if they said the grid is down for 6 months. 6 months would be literally war in the streets. 6 months of no electricity.
It doesn't have to be an EMP that does it, though.
No,
I mean, we seen this in Michigan a few years back where they had that severe ice storm, and there was parts of the East Coast that was without power for 3
yeah, no, all you got to shut down is one of the plants. One of the plants goes down, and it doesn't even have to be the whole United States. If it happens just to the East Coast, that's going to create such a it's going to create a war. It's going to create an internal war. And not only that, it's just going to be scary as hell, and a lot of people will die. That's what scared me is we only went 2 weeks, and within those 2 weeks, things got so crazy. I could not even imagine the power company coming back and going, we're not going to have the power on for 6 months, a year. You know,
Power went out for like 6 or 7 hours, like a couple months back. And my son was at home. He was going to stay at home. We were going somewhere. We had to come back. It was my daughter and my wife. Anyway, me and my kid were sitting there for about 7 hours in the middle of the night with no power, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. And it was so bizarre. And that was just 7 hours without power. We went and hung out in my RV.
see, this was the middle of the winter. So
Wow.
I just had a new baby boy. He was maybe 3 or 4 months old, and we did have a fireplace. So we were burning wood in our fireplace that hadn't been used in probably 15 or 20 years. And so that pretty much got us all sick, everybody in the house. And because I had to keep that little baby warm. And so yeah, it was 2 weeks of actually it was pretty much a lesson. And right after that, I went out and got myself a generator, because if that ever happened again, I actually think that my son's breathing problems, because he does have asthma. I believe those breathing problems were from those 2 weeks when he was a baby, and we had to live in a house with wood for heat. But it wasn't just that we had to use the wood. It's that fireplace hadn't been cleaned out in so long. We should not have been burning wood in it.
Right.
And
Josie Kitty says fossil fuel. Wait a minute. It just jumped off my screen. She said, where'd it go? Yeah, fossil fuels mean even more government control. And the scary part is that last week there was a press release stating that the U.S. is now number one in the world for gas and oil. Number one. With all the fracking and everything that's going on, we are the number one production of gas and oil in the world right now.
Well, I think a good choice, I've been thinking about this, a good choice would be for me, for example, with my diesel pickup, to convert it to run on oil. And another good choice would be, my friend had one. He had a Ford pickup truck. He converted to propane. So propane and cooking oil would be good choices for vehicles.
I couldn't think that propane would be a good choice for vehicle because, in the event that things go south, where are you going to get propane?
Well, it's easy to store tanks of propane. They're easy to store.
It is.
And they're cheap. They're cheap to get.
The easier thing to get would be that cooking grease, though.
And that's an absolute fact that diesels will run on cooking oil.
Yep. Actually,
you have to get the conversion kit. It's about $600 or $700, and you can actually switch it off to run on the diesel fuel or the oil.
The easiest thing to do would be to do a hydrogen generator conversion on it.
Oh, now you're driving around a bomb.
Then you're running your car off of water.
Here's the deal with that oil stuff. My uncle works for a rendering company, and he's worked there for like my whole entire life, so 30 years plus. And this rendering company now, they actually save that oil and sell it, which before they weren't able to do because of exactly what Green Bay's talking about, is powering diesels off of used cooking oil.
Yeah, the biodiesels.
Yep, biodiesel.
Yeah, biodiesels. You can, in fact, you can go out to a military surplus auction and buy a deuce and a half, and it will run off of biodiesel already. You don't have to have it converted. And they're basically indestructible trucks. They'll go anywhere.
What's going to end up happening is we're going to end up going back to the 1800s. And unless you know how to live like some in the 1800s, you're fucked. So the best people to go to learn how to live like that is the Amish. And I'm not kidding you.
The Amish will probably be all right, but the thing that's scary, the most scary part is, it'd be okay if we went back to the 1800s, but it's not okay to have to go back to the 1800s with a bunch of crazy people from the 2000s, and it'll be like what The Walking Dead. Even with no zombies, it'll be factions of gangs against each other and people raiding. It'll be horrible.
I actually think what's going to happen, people are going to be knocking on doors. We heard you have copies of The Walking Dead here. We want your DVDs.
Yes.
Be like, I downloaded them, so I lost them when everything went south.
I'm sorry, no one has DVDs anymore. They were in my computer.
One thing that's really important.
Here you go. They're all on this hard drive. Have fun.
One thing that's really important is you got to have a backup plan. When the grid's down and there is no today, okay, you got to go back to a time that was a lot simpler, right? You're going to end up going back to that time because everything's going to be destroyed. So you got to be a survivalist. You've got to be a prepper. You've got to be someone that has some education. And so while we're in this time, this is a time you need to be educating yourself. Okay, we're taking life for granted right now. So instead of wasting your time taking life for granted, start studying and educating yourself. I'm serious. You're going to have a step in the door before anyone else is.
Try hunting and fishing. Hunting and fishing will feed a family.
A lot of people saying get a horse, maybe, but a lot of people can't own a horse where they live.
Thing about it is a horse can get shot
Easily. I'd rather have a 4x4 truck,
Listen, the fact of the matter is if you don't have common sense, you're not going to survive.
You gotta outsmart your opponent.
Yep.
And that's what everyone's going to be. Everyone, even including your tight knit circle of friends. There's always going to be someone that's going to turn on you.
I know it takes a lot of money to prep, though. I know that. You got to.
The fact of the matter is that so many people are so up on the technology and getting their food from the supermarket and not growing their own, or not, they don't know how to distill water, or, things like that. If things go south, if you can find some place to wait it out for 6 months, the ones that don't know what to do are going to be gone in 6 months.
Well, it's gonna be going back to trade and bartering. I mean, that's and they still do that today. I mean, people still trade and barter. Get and learn how to do it. I mean, educate yourself.
You know what though, Ghost? That's not true because, all right, say they take away our guns like they're trying to do. All right.
What I'm saying is when the supermarkets run out of food and they run out of looting from people's houses, that's going to happen in the first month. Then the next 5 months, they ain't going to find food anywhere. They're going to be going to like food warehouses. But by this time, the electric's out.
You don't think they're going to raid those farms? You don't think that they're going to actually raid the farms themselves?
They may.
That's what I mean. It's going to be a
war. When the farms are gone, like when they raid those farms, okay, that's going to feed them for a little while. They're going to ravage any gardens that are there and destroy any crops that are there in the first 3 months. So at least the first 3 months, everything's going to be gone.
Yeah, Art Conklin says we're going to revert to, well, he just says cannibalism, but I get the idea.
Well, one thing that a lot of people don't keep in mind is that when the grid goes down, and the plan Bs are gone, so the battery power, what have you, and those are all gone. There's a certain amount of the population that's going to die. All the people in nursing homes, all the people in hospitals, that part of the population is going to be gone. That leaves you fighting against the one that could be smarter than you or dumber than you. I mean, there's a part of the population that's in these homes, these adult homes. There's going to be a large amount of people are going to die within the first couple of weeks. Those that are dependent on medication, senior citizens, they're all going to be wiped out.
And then the weaker ones are going to get killed off by the scavengers and the looters.
Well, if not killed off by someone else, they're just going to die because they don't have the meds, the proper medications, or proper health.
Right.
All right, but this is what I'm afraid of. What I'm afraid of is they're trying to take people's guns away. All right, legal guns, hard-working people should definitely have the right to own, especially in this country. They should never be able to take our guns away. But if they do, if they succeed and they get our guns, who's going to have guns left? It's going to be the gangs. It's going to be all the criminal elements that are armed,
or the people that know how to make guns.
I think a person should be able to own any kind of gun that they want. I don't care, automatic, semi-automatic, any gun. One of my friends, one time, I told you that, it. One of my friends in a hangout grabbed his gun, set it down the table, and he said, "All right, shoot somebody." The gun just sat there, didn't shoot anybody.
I think I know who that was.
Didn't shoot anyone. It's people. So it
Well,
don't matter.
The other thing you got to keep in mind, you don't have any weaponry, right? You make your own. They did that, during the cowboy and Indian days, right? Everyone made their own weapons before the guns came along.
They used to do that in the 20s and 30s too. They called them zip guns.
What is a bow or a spear gonna do against a kid with a Glock?
Well, once again, there, Lou, you got to outsmart your opponent.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
Look at Stephen Dennis out there. They've already taken away. He says here in the UK, it's against the law to have a gun in their possession. So they've already de-armed you, already over there.
Well, that's the thing, Lou, too, is compared to a gun, you're going to hear that gun go off. You're going to hear where the shot came from. That arrow, you're never going to hear it coming.
Deliverance.
Oh,
They've got great
Favorite movie,
videos.
man. Deliverance.
Yeah, they got great videos right now where these guys and these kids they live like these natives out in the jungles of New Zealand, and they're fantastic to watch. They are survivalists. They create everything with their own hands. They live off the land. It's amazing. They make their own weapons, make their own clay pots. I mean, make their own ovens, build their own shelters. It's amazing.
They have their own generations of kids that know how to do it from young age.
Yeah, because they pass it down from generation to generation.
Yeah, I watch those shows too.
Oh, excellent.
Man, you guys still got 76 people in there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm glad everyone's enjoying the conversation there tonight.
I'm one of those people that I actually know how to make a gun. I've made guns. I have the plans to make guns. I can make AR-15s. I can make Colt 45s.
Just said like
11 A1.
You just said like 10 keywords, man.
I know, right? You know,
Way to go, Ghost.
but it's.
But Lou, it's okay. It's Ghost Mafia's channel, so you're.
Yeah, it's fine.
Well, we ain't been taken down yet, so I mean, but you have that knowledge. You can make a gun. You could go to the hardware. I could go to the hardware store and make a 50 cal out of what I can find at Lowe's.
Have you guys ever seen a comment in the comments section taken down by Google?
Not on one of my streams, but I have seen it. Yeah.
All right. So tonight in my live stream tonight, and Megan sent me a picture of this. In my live stream tonight, a comment was taken down by the Google moderator team.
Interesting.
Pretty. Yep.
Where did that happen, Lou?
On my channel.
What do you mean on a video or on a live stream?
Live stream when I
What was the comment?
Wait, you did a live stream tonight and someone typed something in the chat that Google got rid of?
Yes, Google moderator team deleted it.
How do you know that? Did a message come up or what happened?
Megan sent me a picture of it.
Oh, I got to see that picture.
I'll send it to you.
Who's starting to come in on our YouTube?
I'll tweet it. You know what? I'll just tweet it. Here.
Wow, I want to see that. Megan, I can't wait for his tweet. That'll take too long. Send it to me, Megan. Send it to me.
I already asked Megan for it.
I'm tweeting it right now.
Right now?
Yeah, right now.
Screen share it.
I can't screen share it. Here. You don't have my
You got an iPhone, right?
Why isn't?
You have an iPhone?
Do I have an iPhone? Stop confusing me.
Do you have an iPhone?
I just sent it to you. Let me see here.
Okay. Let's see what this is all about. I'm going to screen share this.
All right, you screen share it.
Okay.
Did you tweet it, Lou, or no?
I'm trying to. Doesn't seem to be letting me.
Oh, my network friends has just showed it to me. Okay, let's see what it says here.
There it is. Screen shared.
Message deleted by the Google moderator team.
What the hell?
Whoa. That is freaky, Lou.
Weird, right?
That is way weird. And now you can't click on it to see what the message was?
Not. Well, not from a picture.
No, I mean in the live stream, normally, you know, when a message gets deleted, a moderator or the owner of the channel can click on the deleted message to at least read it privately.
I'm sure I probably could have. It's just I didn't get to do it at
Oh,
the
I would be curious to know what that was. That is freaky. I have never seen that.
I bet you they did it from 5G.
Welcome to the
I bet
future
you they
of-
read I bet you they read my mind and they knew I was going to talk about this tonight.
Thank you, Megan. Guys, he's not kidding.
Welcome to the future.
Wow, if I
of
didn't see it
YouTube.
with my own eyes, I would have questioned it. That's crazy.
I have I actually
That's scary.
I searched it up on Google, and it's been happening since 2017. Said message deleted by Google moderator team. Our curiosity, has anybody else seen this when using YouTube live streaming?
But that means they're going to censor your own live stream now.
Yep.
Yeah, I got certain blocked words, so I don't know if maybe that.
I've got blocked words
I've
that
got blocked words as well.
I've never had a blocked by the. I mean, my goodness, that means, oh my goodness, that is scary.
But here's the thing. If Google moderator team blocked someone from your channel, would that ghost them?
Wow.
Because they might not block them on YouTube, but they block them in your Google, which is what happened with Megan.
Yeah.
Think about that, Lou.
That what?
Okay, so if Google is moderating your channel and they block somebody, they're blocking them on Google, which is what happened to Megan. She was
Ooh.
blocked on Google, but not on YouTube. You couldn't see each other's comments because of it.
And that's yes
That's how she got blocked, I'm betting.
through Google. You're right.
Oh my
There's
goodness.
your conspiracy.
Hang on a
Wow,
second.
that is
So this ghosting that people is getting, like when they come into somebody's chats and they say something, and let's say Google moderates it, all of a sudden they're blocked on Google from, being in touch with you, and they're ghosted in YouTube because of it.
well, ghosting's not anything new. I found that out on Reddit. You know, a lot of people don't realize they're ghosted on Reddit. Did you know about ghosting on Reddit, Ghost?
I'm
Yeah,
not on Reddit.
Yeah, well, here's how it works. They got real clever and they say it's in the name of spam. A lot of people want to use Reddit to promote their own YouTube channel, that kind of stuff. So certain things trigger Reddit, and what they do is they allow you, when you have your account, to see your posts, upload your posts, and you're managing your little Reddit account thinking everything's great. But what they're actually do, your comments, your links to videos, all that stuff, the public doesn't get to see them. But it's a mind trick because you and your account see them. You see them when you're on Reddit, and you're thinking everything's coochie crunch. It's great. I got my message out there. But if you were to go incognito, go in as not signed in as your account, none of them show up. It's called ghosting. They do it on Craigslist too. Very, very clever.
Well, here's what I propose to the audience. If you guys have ever had anybody tell you that, hey, you can't see my comments, and you didn't block them, go into your Google settings and see if they're blocked in your Google settings, not in your YouTube settings, but in your Google. If there's blocked people in your Google, they will not show up in your comments or your chats on your live streams.
Real Talk Tarot says they do that on Facebook and Instagram as well. It's brilliant. It's a brilliant plan, ghosting, because they make you, the user, think that what you're seeing is actually what the public's seeing.
Interesting.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know about ghosting. Yep.
Deborah says, at this point, if you guys don't see me in a live chat for a whole day, you know something's up.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, you might have been taken out by an EMP.
This is true.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're just about at the 2-hour mark on this. I think I'm going to go ahead and end this out for today. I know tomorrow we've got all kinds of stuff going on. Actually, myself and Lou Rock are supposed to be up on Uber Goobers at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for a special edition of The Missing, covering the Tammy Lynn's case. Right, Lou?
Yeah.
Okay. And then tomorrow night at 10, we've got Whacked Out Wednesday with JoJo Walker. And then Thursday, we have EVPs. And we haven't done EVPs in so long, I don't even know whose channel it's supposed to be on, JoJo. So you'll have to let me know.
Yeah.
But, I still don't know what we're going to do with that. We'll talk about it tomorrow or something. I know that Cab 7's been doing some hellaciously long streams here lately, and they're awesome. I'm loving it because I don't miss any of it. Like, and then Green Bay has been going live at like 4 o'clock in the morning to like 8 or 10 in the morning sometimes. So yeah, my sleep schedule is all over the place right now.
Oh, I'm actually wrecked today with that thing with the cable company. I'm wrecked.
And then on Friday, to get Lady Swan back in the swing of things, come over here, woman. Oh, she's checking her schedule. Let's see what she works on Friday.
When it's
1 to 9. Okay, so you'll be good. You should be home here in time to do your WTF Friday show with JoJo at 10, right? Okay, so we should be back in the swing of things this week. Schedule's going, all that good stuff. But wait, there's more. Don't forget about Monday, Luke. Now, you said you was going to be gone for a while, right, Luke?
Yeah, I might not be live streaming. I'm going to be having a few videos coming out, but if I am able to live stream, I'll be live streaming, but I don't know if I'll be able to live stream for the next week or two.
And remember, everyone in the chat, go buy a big diesel pickup 4x4 that runs off cooking oil, and you'll be fine.
Now, Lou, I have had that surgery. You're getting the tubes put in, right?
Yeah, I'm actually getting 2 different procedures done. So
okay. Now, I've had the tubes put in my ears before, and the recovery time on that is just a day or two.
Yeah, no, that's not.
You should be good with that. I don't know about. I'm not sure about the other procedure. You didn't really.
Yeah, no.
That. I don't know if you want to on.
No, I'm not worried about the tubes. It's I have 2 procedures happening.
Okay. Well, guys, put some prayer emojis out there for Lou Rock. He goes under the knife tomorrow, and so I don't know if he's going to be live on Monday night or not. But
tomorrow, and then 2 days after that again.
I had tubes in my ear when I was a kid. Actually, they were installed. They removed them eventually, or they just.
It was an in and out thing, right?
Yeah, I can't remember if they disintegrated over time or if they actually removed them. I don't remember.
No, I mean when they put them in, it's just you go in, they pop them in your ears, and you're done, right?
I don't remember it being a long.
You under for it.
They do put you under.
Yeah, they do put you on. I went in at 6 years old to have tubes put in my ears. They gave me the gas to put me under. And with my malignant hyperthermia, they didn't know I was allergic to the anesthetics. And I spent 2 weeks in the hospital because it almost killed me. But, you know.
I am going under. I am going under tomorrow, but I forgot. I don't know if I should not eat by like 4 in the morning or something. It might be at 4 in the afternoon.
Well, you'll be under for about 2 hours.
Yeah, but they usually tell you not to eat like 12 hours in advance. And they scheduled this 3 months ago, so I don't really remember everything that they told me. So
Yeah, if you eat within that 12-hour span, they'll reschedule you.
Yeah, if you eat in that 12-hour span, they'll reschedule you. So
yeah, I'm not gonna eat. I'm gonna stop eating at 4 in the morning.
I sent you something on Facebook, Lou, and it actually gives you 7 things of what exactly Google Moderator is and what it does.
well, read them to us. We'll close out the show with that. Give us the 7 things.
Yeah, but they're really long.
I know. I put you on the spot. I'm sorry.
Give me a second. I'm tired, okay?
Oh, I'm fried. So out of whack today.
Makes 2.
All for nothing because I missed the cable guy.
You missed them. What'd you do? Fall asleep?
No, what happened was they were supposed to call. They said they'd be here a little bit after 2:00. So I'm waiting for the call. My son had to go to marching band at 5, and I said, "Look, dude, let's just wait here last minute for the cable guy in case he shows up." At 10 after 4, he's like, "Let's just go now. Just get me over there now to make sure you drive me to marching band." So I left. The cable guy shows up with his little slip. He left the yellow thing on the door at 4:15. We missed him by 5 minutes.
What an asshole! I would flip on that company.
Well, no, my cables, I'm not having a problem with it now, but I'm having intermediate internet drops. So they're going to recheck all the fiber optic equipment they installed. It's free. They don't charge for that. I'll just call them up tomorrow. So,
but you stayed up all day waiting for them.
Well, yeah, because I called the cable company at like 9:30, 10 in the morning. I didn't know they were going to have a guy out this afternoon. Normally with cable company, we'll schedule that for next Tuesday, you know. So, yeah, I waited up because I didn't want to oversleep. So just through, I missed Cab 7, Sing Your Heart Out. I was awake when it started, but then I just lied down and then I woke up and it was over. So I didn't, sorry, Cab, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of people are pissed off at you.
Oh, shut up.
There it goes. You can read it out.
A lot of disappointed people. A lot of disappointed people there tonight. I see the comments all about Green Bay not being there.
Yep. Oh, jeepers.
Oh, yeah.
I just checked my social blade. I lost 781 people.
Oh, I'm not joking, Green Bay. I'm not joking. They were over there. They were like, man, Green Bay. You know, YouTube's really gone to his head lately.
Okay, here it is. The 7 things you need to know about Google moderators. Number 1, what is it? Google Moderators is a web-based tool that lets a user set up a series of 1 or more topics to which people can post questions. For example, a course instructor can set up a series for an entire course and then use different topics. That doesn't sound like.
What the hell does that have to do with me?
Right? That's okay. Let's move on to the next one. Who is doing it? Google Moderator was used by the President-elect Barack Obama's transition team in a public series called Open for Questions, in which they answered questions from the general public. Some faculty are trying a similar method of capturing questions, ideas, and discussion topics using Twitter and special course-specific tag. For example, in a disruptive technologies course, C1597, the faculty and students use Twitter to make comments about topics. It's almost like this is saying that it's a message board type thing. How does it work?
How does it get into someone's chat? That doesn't make any sense, what you've read so far.
Okay, so to set up moderators, start by logging into Google Moderator, click Recreate Series, and give the series a title such as course name, semester, and year. So is this something somebody would have done?
It might be one. You know what? It might be from the blocked words list.
Like Harmony said, she said the Google moderator that is in live stream is triggered by certain words or phrases. So because YouTube is a Google thing, certain words will trigger it.
All right.
They must have to be really, really bad words.
That is crazy.
I don't think there is a quick, easy answer on that. That's
been around for quite a while.
It's just kind of weird. It's just kind of weird to come out on my channel.
I think it's the fact that you're growing so fast, so your numbers going up. Like, you know what I mean? So you're watched even more by the algorithm and things like that.
Weird. So it's according to what I'm reading here, it's a program, something like Nightbot, that Google is using. It's not an actual person. It's a program.
Yeah.
And it's triggered by those keywords that you would have had set up.
Yeah, I have a bunch of keywords set up.
I've got a huge list of keywords blocked for my chat. I've never seen a Google. Wow, that's crazy.
That is a little crazy.
I wonder if it's geared towards racial, political, things of that nature, not just swear words or things like that.
Yeah, but why wouldn't it just block the comment and leave it open for the moderators to
read?
Not?
That's what's kind of scary about it.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's usually when the keywords are triggered by YouTube, you get the thing saying hide this or allow, and the moderators can choose to allow it, put it up, or hide it and delete it.
Right.
Well, I mean, that whole talk of YouTube becoming more family friendly would have something to do with them now using this instead of their regular monitoring system.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like YouTube is going to a dual monitoring setup now. Not only are they relying on the moderators, but if the keyword is triggered by Google, then the Google moderators will take care of it.
But that's going to be the ultimate in censorship when you can't even have a live stream talk.
So Toxic just had one that had to be approved by the mods.
Wow, that's ultimate censorship here on YouTube, where now Google will censor your own live stream chat.
Well, there's been times like when Brian used to do his karaoke on Sundays. He wasn't even monetized at the time, and they literally stopped and froze his stream for 2 minutes because a certain part of a song sounded too close to the original.
I've seen that happen before.
Literally froze the whole stream.
I've seen a friend of mine, Deborah the Fam. She was literally just talking and watching music videos on her television across the room, and it was playing a Michael Jackson tune, and they shut her whole stream down. Shut her off.
Gave her the message copyright or something.
Oh yeah, sent her the message. She said a red bar came up across her stream, copyright content, and they shut down her stream in midstream. Shut it down. She had to restart the stream, restart a new live stream, and shut off the television.
Ghost, Lou, Wacky, Cab. It was nice seeing y'all.
Are you taking off?
I gotta go sleep, man.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna end this here anyways, guys. Thanks for coming. Hang out for the after call. Special shout out to the moderators out there, Sharpshooter, and everybody that was dropping those links. Shout out to super chats that we got tonight. Cab 7, thank you, brother. And I think there was a couple other ones, but I don't remember what they were because they're not up on the screen no more. But definitely shout out to all those people that super chatted and all the support you guys give. Amazing night, guys. 80 people in here, like the whole stream. This was an awesome comeback after being away for a couple weeks and the move and all that stuff. So shout out to all you guys out there for just making tonight just a big success. Love y'all, and we will catch you next time here on Question Everything.
Yeah, and thanks for inviting me up, Ghost and Lou.
Peace.
Dog am.